Life often feels heavier than it should, doesn't it? Not because of what naturally comes our way, but because of all the unnecessary weight we carry. Goals that no longer excite us, relationships that leave us drained, habits that consume our energy instead of fueling it. It's not always easy to see it, but deep down, we know when something doesn't fit anymore. We feel it in the quiet moments, when we're honest enough to admit that what's weighing us down is often self-inflicted. There's a quiet kind of power in letting go. It's not loud or dramatic. It doesn't come with applause or recognition, but it's life-changing. When we stop holding on to what no longer serves us, we start to make space. Space for peace, space for focus, and space for growth. The path to a freer, lighter life doesn't require adding anything new. It starts with the courage to remove what doesn't belong. Letting go can feel strange at first. Familiar routines, even the ones that harm us, provide a kind of false comfort. We cling to them because they're known, and the unknown feels risky. But the real risk is staying the same, dragging around the same burdens year after year, hoping things will somehow get better while refusing to make the changes that could set us free. When you start removing the unnecessary, something magical happens. Suddenly, the world feels clearer, the noise fades, and you can hear yourself think. You realize how much energy you've been spending on things that don't matter. How much of your life has been consumed by distractions, obligations, and habits that never brought you closer to happiness or fulfillment? You don't have to explain it to anyone. That's the beauty of letting go. It's personal, quiet. You're not doing it to make a statement or to prove a point. You're doing it because your peace is worth more than anything you're leaving behind. You're doing it because the life you want demands it. And in that silence, you reclaim your strength. You stop being pulled in every direction and start moving with purpose. But here's the truth. Letting go isn't easy. It can be messy and uncomfortable. It might mean saying goodbye to things you've held on to for years, even if they've only brought you pain. It might mean facing the fear of emptiness, the fear of not knowing what comes next. But in that discomfort lies transformation. Each thing you release lightens the load, sharpens your focus, and brings you closer to the life you deserve. The journey doesn't require perfection. It's not about eliminating everything at once. It's about progress. Small, deliberate steps that, over time, lead to profound change. Maybe it's the decision to step back from a draining relationship. Maybe it's the choice to stop chasing after goals that no longer align with who you are. Maybe it's the quiet act of prioritizing your mental clarity by reducing the constant noise of social media. Whatever it is, each choice you make sends a powerful message to yourself. I value my peace. I value my growth. I value myself. The process of letting go is deeply rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism. It's about focusing your energy on what you can control and releasing everything else. When you stop clinging to what's out of your hands, other people's opinions, past regrets, unrealistic expectations, you discover a freedom that can't be found anywhere else. You stop reacting to the world around you and start living intentionally. You take back the reins of your life. There's no need to rush this journey. Change doesn't have to be loud or immediate to be meaningful. It's in the quiet, consistent choices you make daily. It's in the boundaries you set, the space you create, and the energy you reclaim. Slowly but surely, you begin to notice the shift, not just in your surroundings, but within yourself. A sense of calm replaces the chaos. Clarity takes the place of confusion, and for the first time in a long time, You feel like you're living a life that's yours, not one dictated by expectations, comparisons, or distractions. You've felt glimpses of this before, haven't you? Those moments when you say no to something you didn't want to do and feel the relief of protecting your time. The satisfaction of clearing out clutter and realizing how much lighter you feel without it. These are signs of what's possible when you choose to let go. They're proof that you don't need more to be fulfilled. You need less. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering who you've always been beneath the noise, the weight, and the expectations. It's about recognizing that you already have everything you need to live fully and freely. The path forward isn't about chasing after something outside yourself. It's about clearing the way for what's been within you all along. As the days unfold, let this be your quiet revolution. No grand declarations, no need for applause, just a deep, steady commitment to yourself, to your peace, your focus, and your freedom. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you've always deserved. You don't need to prove it to anyone else. You'll know it in your heart, and that's enough. Life becomes lighter when unnecessary burdens are released, and few things weigh us down more than chasing goals that were never truly ours. There's a kind of quiet exhaustion that creeps in when we devote time, energy, and heart to objectives that don't align with who we are. It's not just about wasted effort, it's about the subtle erosion of our sense of self. When your path is shaped by the expectations of others, every step feels hollow no matter how fast or far you go. The question isn't just whether the goal is achievable, it's whether it's worth achieving at all. Goals that don't belong to you often start subtly. They can look like societal ideals, career milestones, material achievements, or personal successes that everyone seems to value. They might be expectations from family, friends, or even the version of yourself you thought you needed to become. Over time, they pile up, creating a map of destinations that lead everywhere but home. To break free, it's essential to recognize where these goals come from and why they've stayed with you. Clarity begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself why a goal matters to you. If the answer feels vague or tied to external validation, such as wanting to impress someone or fit in, it's a sign that the goal may not truly serve you. Goals rooted in your authentic self feel different. They resonate. They bring a quiet sense of purpose rather than a need for approval. Letting go of unrealistic goals doesn't mean giving up or lowering your standards. It means redirecting your energy toward what genuinely fulfills you. This shift requires courage because it often means confronting fears of judgment or failure. The world doesn't always applaud those who choose their own path, but the rewards far outweigh the discomfort. Freedom, peace, and fulfillment are the gifts of aligning your objectives with your inner values. One of the challenges of releasing unrealistic goals is the attachment we develop to the identity they create. We often define ourselves by the things we strive for, even when those things don't bring us happiness. Breaking that attachment is not about rejecting ambition. It's about redefining it. Ambition becomes a tool for self-discovery rather than a measure of worth. It's the difference between climbing a mountain because it excites your soul and climbing it because everyone else says you should. The process of letting go also requires patience. Unrealistic goals don't always reveal themselves immediately. Sometimes you only notice their weight when you stop carrying them. Reflection becomes your greatest ally here. Set aside time to evaluate your aspirations honestly. Write them down, examine their roots, and ask whether they align with your values, strengths, and desires. This practice isn't about criticizing yourself, but understanding yourself more deeply. It's equally important to recognize the impact of societal pressures on your goals. We live in a world that glorifies busyness, achievement, and competition. It's easy to adopt goals simply because they seem like what you're supposed to do. But the truth is, living authentically often requires stepping away from the crowd. It means prioritizing depth over breadth, fulfillment over appearances, and connection over comparison. When you release the need to conform, you make room for goals that are uniquely yours. Realigning your objectives also involves embracing the idea that success is personal. The world may celebrate visible milestones, promotions, wealth, fame, but true success lies in the quiet victories that bring you closer to your true self. It's the peace of knowing you're living in harmony with your values. It's the joy of pursuing something that lights you up, even if no one else understands it. This redefinition of success allows you to let go of goals that once felt mandatory and replace them with ones that feel meaningful. As you focus on objectives that reflect your authentic self, the journey becomes just as rewarding as the destination. Goals tied to your true nature don't feel like a race. They feel like an unfolding, a natural progression of who you are becoming. Every step, even the small ones, carries significance. Instead of draining your energy, these goals energize you. They invite curiosity, creativity, and joy into your life. Part of this process is learning to trust yourself. It's easy to doubt your instincts when you've spent years following external benchmarks. But the more you tune in to your inner voice, the stronger it becomes. This trust isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing that you're capable of finding them. When you trust yourself, you become more willing to take risks, make changes, and embrace uncertainty. You stop looking for validation outside yourself and start finding it within. One of the most liberating aspects of this journey is the realization that you don't have to do everything. Life isn't about accomplishing as much as possible. It's about focusing on what matters most. When you let go of unrealistic goals, you free up time, energy, and attention for the things that truly enrich your life. This isn't just about big-picture priorities. It's about the everyday moments that bring joy and meaning. It's about being present, connected, and alive. Letting go of unrealistic goals doesn't mean you won't face challenges. In fact, the process often requires confronting discomfort. But these challenges are different from the ones that come with pursuing goals that don't align with you. They're not about struggling against your own instincts. They're about growing into your potential. This kind of growth feels purposeful, even when it's difficult. As you release what no longer serves you, you'll notice a shift in how you approach new opportunities. Instead of saying yes out of obligation or fear of missing out, you'll learn to say yes to what aligns with your values and no to what doesn't. This discernment becomes a powerful tool for creating a life that reflects who you are. It's not about rejecting opportunities, it's about choosing them with intention. Throughout this process, remember that letting go is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice of self-awareness and alignment. Life changes, and so do you. Goals that once felt meaningful may no longer resonate as you grow. This is not failure, it's evolution. By regularly reflecting on your aspirations, you ensure that your path remains true to you. The rewards of this journey are profound. You gain a sense of clarity that cuts through the noise of external expectations. You feel a deeper connection to yourself and your purpose, and perhaps most importantly, you reclaim the energy that was once spent chasing what didn't matter. This energy becomes the foundation for living a life of authenticity, peace, and fulfillment. Every decision to let go is a step toward freedom. Every release creates space for something new, something aligned, meaningful, and true. The process may be quiet, but its impact is transformative. It's not about giving up on life's possibilities. It's about choosing the ones that truly belong to you. And in that choice lies the power to create a life that feels deeply, beautifully, and unapologetically your own. When you begin to release unrealistic goals that no longer align with your true self, something remarkable happens. You create room for clarity, and with that clarity comes a deeper understanding of the relationships in your life. Some relationships lift you, bringing energy and joy, while others feel like a storm cloud, constantly draining and pulling you down. It's in this space of reflection that the truth about toxic relationships becomes unavoidable. Holding on to them can quietly suffocate your growth, yet letting them go feels like a leap into the unknown. There is a subtle but powerful pain in realizing that someone you care about may not have your best interests at heart. It's never easy to acknowledge when a relationship, whether with a friend, family member, or partner, has become harmful. You may tell yourself that things will get better, or that their actions don't hurt as much as they truly do. But the longer you hold on, the more you deny yourself the peace and emotional balance you deserve. Toxic relationships thrive on patterns of negativity. These can manifest in many ways: manipulation, constant criticism, unspoken competition, or a lack of mutual respect. Sometimes, toxicity comes in the form of inconsistency, when someone's behavior keeps you guessing, leaving you walking on eggshells. This unpredictability may keep you tethered, hoping for change, but it often only prolongs your suffering. Quietly stepping away from relationships that harm your emotional well-being is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It's a declaration that your mental and emotional health are priorities. To begin this process, it's essential to recognize the signs. Toxicity isn't always loud. It can be subtle, disguised as concern or loyalty. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you leave the interaction drained, anxious, or questioning your worth? These emotions are red flags. Letting go of a toxic relationship doesn't mean harboring resentment or hatred. It means understanding that not every connection is meant to last. People grow in different directions, and not every path aligns. Accepting this truth can be challenging, especially when guilt creeps in. You may worry about abandoning someone or fear being perceived as unkind. But staying in a relationship out of guilt only prolongs the harm to both you and the other person. It's important to approach this process with quiet strength. Cutting ties doesn't have to be dramatic or confrontational. In many cases, it's about creating distance, declining invitations, reducing contact, or setting firm boundaries. These small, steady actions send a clear message. You are prioritizing your well-being. This isn't about punishing the other person. It's about protecting yourself. In some cases, toxic relationships are deeply ingrained, especially when they involve family. The idea of creating distance from a parent, sibling, or close relative may feel impossible. Society often places immense pressure on maintaining family bonds at all costs, but this perspective ignores the complexity of human relationships. Family members are not exempt from the need to treat you with kindness and respect. If a relationship is causing harm, It's valid to step back, even temporarily, to regain your emotional balance. One of the hardest parts of letting go is untangling yourself from the narratives that keep you stuck. Toxic individuals often create dynamics that make you doubt yourself, making you feel as though their behavior is your fault or that you're too sensitive. These narratives can become internalized, shaping how you see yourself. Breaking free requires recognizing these patterns and reframing them. You are not responsible for someone else's actions or emotions. You are, however, responsible for protecting your own peace. Healing after letting go of a toxic relationship is just as important as the act itself. Removing the source of harm is only the first step. The next is rebuilding your sense of self. Toxic relationships often leave scars, feelings of inadequacy, mistrust, or fear of vulnerability. These wounds take time to heal, but healing is possible. Focus on nurturing yourself through practices that bring you peace, whether that's journaling, therapy, or simply spending time in environments where you feel safe and valued. Stepping away from toxicity also creates space for healthier relationships to enter your life. When you let go of what drains you, you open yourself to connections that energize and inspire you. These are the relationships that don't demand explanations or make you feel small. They are marked by mutual respect, support, and understanding. By valuing your own well-being, you attract people who value it too. It's natural to feel moments of doubt when distancing yourself from someone toxic. Memories of better times may surface, making you question your decision. But it's essential to trust the wisdom that led you to step away. Those memories don't erase the harm that was done or the need for boundaries. Remind yourself that letting go isn't an act of cruelty. It's an act of love for yourself and for the life you're building. While this process can feel isolating, it's important to remember that you're not alone. Many people face similar struggles, and seeking support can make all the difference. Whether it's confiding in a trusted friend, joining a support group, or speaking with a counselor, sharing your journey with others can provide clarity and strength. The effects of cutting ties with toxic individuals extend beyond emotional relief. They ripple into every area of your life. Your mental clarity improves, allowing you to focus on your goals without the constant noise of negativity. Your confidence grows as you realize the strength it takes to prioritize yourself. Even your physical health can benefit as stress levels decrease and your body begins to recover from the strain of emotional turmoil. As you move forward, remember that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to a healthier, more balanced life. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out. It's about creating a space where mutual respect can thrive. In some cases, toxic relationships can transform when clear boundaries are established. In others, the distance remains necessary. Either way, boundaries are a tool for preserving your peace. Letting go of toxic relationships is not about erasing the past. It's about honoring your journey and acknowledging that every experience, good or bad, has shaped you. Even relationships that end in pain can teach valuable lessons about your needs, values, and resilience. By embracing these lessons, you grow stronger and more attuned to the relationships that truly nourish your soul. Life is too short to spend it surrounded by negativity. You deserve connections that uplift you, challenge you in healthy ways, and bring out the best in you. Choosing to cut ties with toxicity is not just a step toward freedom. It's a step toward a life of greater authenticity, peace, and joy. And as you take this step, know that you are not losing anything essential. You are gaining yourself. As the noise of toxic relationships fades, what remains is often a quieter but equally persistent habit, seeking validation from others. It's a habit that's deeply ingrained, shaped by years of wanting to be liked, accepted, or praised. This need for external approval can feel harmless at first, even comforting, but over time it grows into a cage, restricting your freedom to live authentically. The question isn't whether approval feels good. It's whether chasing it is costing you your sense of self. Validation from others can be a double-edged sword. Positive feedback may lift your spirits temporarily, but it often leaves you dependent on the next compliment, the next like, or the next word of approval. The cycle is endless because external validation can never truly satisfy. It's fleeting, a shallow pool that dries up quickly, leaving you searching for more. What you truly need lies deeper in the wellspring of inner self-worth. Inner self-worth isn't built overnight, but it begins with a single realization. Your value is not determined by what others think of you. Approval is fickle, often based on circumstances beyond your control. People's opinions can shift like the wind, influenced by their own moods, experiences, or biases. To tether your sense of worth to such an unstable foundation is to invite constant insecurity. Releasing the need for validation requires shifting your focus inward. Start by reflecting on your values and principles. What do you stand for? What qualities do you admire in yourself? These questions anchor you in a deeper sense of identity, one that isn't swayed by external feedback. When your actions align with your values, they carry a sense of fulfillment that no amount of praise can replicate. One powerful way to cultivate inner self-worth is by embracing solitude. Spending time alone helps you reconnect with yourself without the noise of other people's expectations. In solitude, you can reflect on your achievements, set intentions, and nurture self-compassion. This isn't about isolating yourself. It's about finding moments of quiet where you can listen to your own voice instead of relying on others to tell you who you are. Another key step is learning to separate feedback from identity. Constructive criticism can be valuable, but it doesn't define you. Recognizing this distinction allows you to approach feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness. When you no longer see others' opinions as a reflection of your worth, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of constant validation. Breaking free from this need also means challenging the stories you've internalized. From a young age, many are taught that approval equals success or love. These narratives can be deeply ingrained, shaping how you view yourself and others. To rewrite these stories, focus on moments where you acted authentically and felt proud, regardless of whether anyone noticed or applauded. Gratitude is another powerful tool in this journey. By appreciating your own efforts and qualities, you reinforce the idea that your worth doesn't depend on external validation. Celebrate small victories, whether it's completing a task, showing kindness, or staying true to your values. These moments remind you that self-worth comes from within, not from the fleeting opinions of others. Letting go of the need for validation also involves accepting that not everyone will like or agree with you, and that's okay. Seeking universal approval is not only impossible, but also unnecessary. When you stop trying to please everyone, you open the door to living authentically. This authenticity attracts people who truly resonate with who you are, creating deeper, more meaningful connections. Comparison is another trap to avoid. When you measure your worth against others, you inevitably find areas where you fall short. But these comparisons are often based on incomplete information. You see someone's highlight reel, not their struggles or insecurities. Shifting your focus from comparison to self-reflection allows you to celebrate your unique journey and strengths. Boundaries play a crucial role in this process. When you set boundaries, you prioritize your own needs and values over others' expectations. This doesn't mean shutting people out. It means protecting your energy and time. Boundaries create a space where you can grow without being constantly shaped by external pressures. The digital age adds another layer of complexity to the need for validation. Social media often amplifies the desire for likes, shares, and comments, creating a constant feedback loop. To break free, consider setting limits on your online activity or using platforms in a way that aligns with your values. Instead of seeking approval, focus on sharing authentically or using these tools for connection and learning. As you release the need for validation, you'll notice a shift in your decision-making. Choices that once felt difficult become clearer because they are guided by your inner compass, not by what others might think. You'll find it easier to say no to opportunities or relationships that don't align with your values, and yes to those that do. Confidence grows when you stop seeking approval. This confidence isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet and steady, rooted in a deep understanding of your worth. It allows you to navigate life's challenges with resilience, knowing that your value isn't diminished by setbacks or criticism. Releasing this need also transforms how you view success. Instead of chasing achievements for external recognition, you begin to define success on your own terms. This might mean pursuing a passion, nurturing meaningful relationships, or simply finding peace in the present moment. Whatever it is, it reflects your authentic self rather than societal expectations. Forgiveness plays a surprising role in this journey. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes or perceived failures allows you to let go of the shame and guilt that often drive the need for validation. It's a reminder that you are human, worthy of compassion and understanding, even when you fall short. This process also deepens your relationships. When you stop seeking validation, you engage with others from a place of authenticity rather than neediness. You listen more deeply, love more fully, and connect more genuinely because you're no longer trying to extract approval or acceptance. This creates space for mutual respect and understanding to flourish. Letting go of validation isn't about rejecting others' opinions entirely. It's about discerning which voices matter and why. Feedback from people you trust and respect can still be valuable, but it no longer defines your worth. This balance allows you to grow without losing sight of who you are. As you continue this journey, self-compassion becomes a cornerstone. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during moments of doubt, reinforces the idea that your worth isn't conditional. Self-compassion isn't about ignoring your flaws, it's about accepting them as part of your humanity. Ultimately, releasing the need for validation is a path to freedom. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and allows you to live a life guided by your own values and desires. This freedom doesn't mean you won't appreciate recognition or encouragement when it comes. It simply means you no longer rely on it to feel whole. The shift away from external validation is transformative. It's a quiet revolution within yourself, where you reclaim your power and embrace your worth. It's not a single step, but a lifelong practice, one that grows stronger with time and intention. And as you walk this path, you'll find a deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, and authenticity than you ever thought possible. As the need for validation fades and you embrace your inner worth, another truth becomes clear. The external things we collect often carry an invisible weight. Beyond their physical presence, possessions can hold emotional baggage, demand our time, and distract us from what truly matters. The pursuit of more things, more luxury, more status, can quietly erode our peace, even as we tell ourselves they bring joy. Letting go of excessive materialism is not just about clearing your space. It's about reclaiming your focus and energy for a life that feels lighter and more meaningful. Excessive materialism thrives on a cycle of temporary satisfaction. New possessions can bring a momentary sense of happiness or accomplishment, but it quickly fades, replaced by the desire for the next item. This cycle is fueled by the belief that happiness or fulfillment can be found in things. However, the joy that material goods provide is often shallow and fleeting, leaving a void that no purchase can fill. When you begin to step back and assess the role of possessions in your life, a clearer picture emerges. Many of the things we acquire are not truly necessary. They serve as symbols of success, of belonging, or of an image we want to project. Yet these symbols often come at a cost. They consume financial resources, require maintenance, and take up space in our homes and minds. Over time, the burden of ownership can outweigh the fleeting pleasure of acquisition. Simplifying your life by reducing unnecessary possessions allows you to focus on what genuinely matters. It's not about rejecting all material goods or living in deprivation. It's about curating a life where each item has a purpose or brings lasting joy. This shift requires a thoughtful examination of your relationship with material things. Ask yourself why you own each item. Does it serve a meaningful function? Does it align with your values? If the answer is no, it might be time to let it go. This process of letting go is deeply liberating. By removing physical clutter, you create mental clarity. Your space becomes a reflection of your priorities rather than a storage unit for forgotten aspirations or fleeting desires. Each item you release frees up energy that can be redirected toward experiences, relationships, and goals that align with your true self. Letting go of materialism also involves addressing the emotional attachments tied to possessions. Many items we hold on to carry memories or represent a sense of security. While it's natural to feel sentimental about certain belongings, it's important to distinguish between cherishing memories and clinging to objects. The memories themselves are not stored in the item, but in your heart and mind. Holding on to too many sentimental items can weigh you down, preventing you from fully embracing the present. Materialism is often driven by societal and cultural pressures. Advertisements and social norms constantly reinforce the idea that having more equates to being more. Breaking free from these pressures requires a conscious effort to redefine your values. Focus on what brings you lasting contentment rather than what satisfies a fleeting desire. This might mean prioritizing quality over quantity, investing in experiences over things, or embracing the beauty of simplicity. A simpler life doesn't just create more physical space, it also creates more time. When you reduce the number of things you own, you spend less time cleaning, organizing, and maintaining them. This newfound time can be spent on activities that nourish your soul, such as pursuing hobbies, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting without the weight of constant demands. Financial freedom is another powerful benefit of letting go of excessive materialism. By shifting your focus away from constant consumption, you save money that can be used for more meaningful purposes. This might mean building a savings cushion, investing in personal growth, or supporting causes you care about. The peace of mind that comes with financial stability far outweighs the fleeting excitement of a new purchase. Letting go of materialism also encourages a deeper connection with yourself and others. When you stop placing value on what you own, you start to see people for who they are rather than what they have. Relationships become more authentic, unburdened by comparisons or competition. You also develop a stronger sense of self-worth, no longer tied to external markers of success. One of the most transformative aspects of abandoning excessive materialism is the shift in perspective it brings. You begin to see abundance in non-material forms, the warmth of a sunset, the laughter of a friend, the sense of accomplishment after a day well spent. These are the moments that bring true richness to life, yet they often go unnoticed when the focus is on acquiring more. Minimalism is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding the balance that works for you. For some, it might mean owning only the essentials. For others, it's about being mindful of what you bring into your life. There's no right or wrong way to simplify, as long as it aligns with your values and brings you closer to the life you want to live. The process of simplifying also invites gratitude. When you own less, you begin to appreciate what you have more deeply. Each item holds more meaning because it serves a purpose or brings genuine joy. This gratitude extends beyond possessions, fostering a sense of contentment that's rooted in the present moment. Living with less doesn't mean sacrificing comfort or beauty. On the contrary, it allows you to create a space that reflects your true self. Instead of being overwhelmed by clutter, your environment becomes a sanctuary, a place where you can recharge, reflect, and grow. This sense of harmony and balance extends to other areas of your life, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Letting go of excessive materialism is also an act of environmental stewardship. The fewer things you consume, the less waste you generate. This conscious choice contributes to a healthier planet, ensuring that future generations can enjoy its beauty and resources. Living simply aligns with the Stoic principle of moderation, reminding us that we can find contentment in enough rather than excess. As you simplify, you may encounter resistance, not just from within, but also from others. Friends or family may not understand your choices or may question why you're letting go of things they consider valuable. It's important to stay true to your path, knowing that your decision is about your well-being, not others' approval. Over time, your example may inspire others to reconsider their own relationship with material possessions. The journey of letting go is ongoing. It's not about achieving a perfect state of minimalism, but about continuously aligning your life with your values. As you grow and change, so will your needs and priorities. This flexibility allows you to adapt without losing sight of what matters most. By releasing the grip of excessive materialism, you create a life that feels lighter, freer, and more meaningful. You discover that true wealth is not in what you own, but in how you live. This shift brings a profound sense of peace, knowing that your happiness is no longer tied to things, but rooted in the deeper joys of connection, purpose, and self-discovery. As the weight of materialism lifts and clarity begins to shape your world, another challenge quietly remains: the hold that emotions can have over your actions and decisions. It's not the presence of emotions that creates difficulty. Emotions are natural and necessary. The real issue lies in how easily they can take control, pulling you into reactions that don't serve your values or goals. Emotional reactivity is a thief, stealing your peace and replacing it with regret, tension, or unnecessary conflict. Learning to master your responses is not about suppressing what you feel, but about navigating those feelings with wisdom and strength. When emotions flare, they often come unannounced. A harsh word from someone, an unexpected challenge, or even an old wound resurfacing can trigger reactions that feel automatic. These moments can leave you saying things you don't mean, or taking actions you wish you hadn't. Emotional reactivity thrives on impulsiveness. It thrives when there's no pause between feeling and action. The first step to eliminating it is recognizing that pause is always possible, even in the most heated situations. Pausing is a powerful tool. It gives you a moment to step back from the intensity of the emotion and observe it without being consumed by it. This simple act of noticing rather than reacting can change the trajectory of a tense situation. During the pause, asking yourself questions like, "Is this worth my peace?" or "What response aligns with my values?" can shift your focus from immediate reaction to intentional action. This practice requires patience with yourself because it may not come naturally at first. But over time, it becomes a habit, grounding you in composure. Composure doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing emotions. Suppression often leads to internal buildup, where unprocessed feelings surface later in unexpected or unhealthy ways. Instead, composure involves acknowledging what you feel while choosing how to express it. Acknowledgement can be as simple as silently naming the emotion: anger, frustration, hurt. Naming it creates distance between you and the emotion, reminding you that while you experience it, you are not controlled by it. Stoic detachment is another valuable practice in managing emotional reactivity. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. Detachment in this sense is about understanding what is within your control and what isn't. Many emotional reactions stem from a desire to control outcomes, people, or circumstances that are ultimately beyond your power. Detachment allows you to let go of that need, focusing instead on your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, areas where you hold true influence. Reactivity often thrives on assumptions. When you jump to conclusions about someone's intentions or the meaning of an event, your emotions respond to the story you've created rather than the reality of the situation. Challenging these assumptions can diffuse the intensity of your feelings. Before reacting, ask yourself, "Do I know this to be true?" This question creates space for perspective and can prevent unnecessary escalation. Practicing self-awareness is crucial in reducing reactivity. Emotions don't arise in a vacuum. They are often tied to deeper beliefs, past experiences, or unmet needs. By understanding your triggers, specific situations or behaviors that spark intense emotional responses, you can prepare yourself to handle them with greater calm. Self-awareness turns reactive moments into opportunities for growth, helping you identify patterns and address their root causes. One of the most effective ways to practice Stoic detachment is by focusing on the present moment. Emotional reactivity often pulls you into the past or future, regrets about what was said, fears about what might happen. Grounding yourself in the present through techniques like mindful breathing or simply observing your surroundings can anchor you in clarity and reduce the intensity of your reactions. The present moment is where choice exists. It's where you decide how to respond. Language plays a significant role in managing emotions. The words you use to describe a situation can either amplify or diminish its emotional charge. Instead of saying, "This is a disaster," try reframing it as, "This is a challenge I can handle." Such shifts in language don't dismiss the difficulty of the situation, but allow you to approach it with a sense of empowerment rather than overwhelm. Learning to regulate your physical responses is also essential. Strong emotions often trigger physiological reactions: racing heart, clenched fists, shallow breathing. These physical cues can escalate the feeling if left unchecked. Practicing relaxation techniques like deep diaphragmatic breathing or progressive muscle relaxation can help calm your body and, in turn, your mind. When your body is at ease, it's easier to think clearly and respond thoughtfully. Relationships provide some of the greatest tests of emotional composure. Close connections often bring deep feelings, both positive and challenging. When conflicts arise, it's easy to let emotions dictate your words or actions, leading to misunderstandings or hurt. Practicing active listening can be transformative in these moments. Instead of preparing your rebuttal or reacting defensively, focus entirely on understanding the other person's perspective. This doesn't mean you have to agree, but it creates space for empathy and resolution. Boundaries are another critical element in managing reactivity, especially in relationships. Without clear boundaries, you may find yourself overwhelmed by others' emotions or behaviors, reacting to situations that could have been avoided with proper limits. Setting and maintaining boundaries protects your emotional energy and creates a foundation for healthier interactions. A significant source of reactivity comes from unmet expectations of ourselves, others, or life itself. Expectations, when rigid or unspoken, can lead to disappointment and frustration. Learning to approach life with flexibility and acceptance can help reduce these emotional spikes. This doesn't mean lowering your standards, but rather recognizing that not everything will unfold as planned, and that's okay. Adapting with grace is a hallmark of emotional resilience. Practicing gratitude is a subtle yet powerful way to counteract reactivity. When emotions threaten to spiral, shifting your focus to what you're grateful for can redirect your energy. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it provides perspective, reminding you of the broader context of your life and the things that remain steady and good amidst the turbulence. It's also important to recognize that eliminating emotional reactivity is not about eliminating emotion. Emotions are a vital part of the human experience, offering insight, connection, and motivation. The goal is not to feel less, but to feel more intentionally. By cultivating emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your own emotions while empathizing with others, you can navigate feelings in a way that strengthens rather than diminishes you. Forgiveness is a profound practice in letting go of reactive patterns. Holding on to anger or resentment ties you to the very emotions you seek to escape. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior, but about freeing yourself from its grip. It's a gift you give yourself, creating space for peace and healing. Eliminating reactivity also involves creating moments of stillness in your life. Modern life is often noisy and fast-paced, leaving little room for reflection. Intentionally carving out quiet time, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, allows you to process emotions before they turn into reactions. Stillness nurtures clarity, giving you the strength to approach situations with calm and purpose. Over time, practicing composure and detachment builds confidence. You begin to trust yourself to handle challenges with grace, knowing that your reactions are a choice, not an inevitability. This confidence extends into every area of your life, from personal relationships to professional interactions, empowering you to face difficulties without losing your center. The journey of eliminating emotional reactivity is ongoing, requiring patience and commitment, but with each step, you move closer to a life of greater peace, authenticity, and resilience. This isn't about perfection, but progress. A steady cultivation of the strength and clarity that allow you to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace. As you learn to respond to life's challenges with grace and composure, another quiet but persistent habit often lingers in the background: comparison. It creeps in subtly, shaping how you view your worth, your progress, and your purpose. Looking at others' achievements, appearances, or possessions can spark feelings of envy, inadequacy, or even resentment. Comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it distracts you from the beauty and potential of your own journey. Releasing the need to measure yourself against others is one of the most liberating steps toward living authentically. Comparison thrives on the illusion that everyone else has it figured out. You see someone's success and think they must have all the answers. Their achievements shine brightly, while your own seem to fade in comparison. But the truth is, what you see is only part of the picture. Every person's journey is complex, filled with struggles and imperfections that often go unseen. By focusing on someone else's path, you lose sight of the value in your own. Recognizing the uniqueness of your journey starts with understanding that no two lives are the same. Each person has their own circumstances, strengths, and challenges. What works for someone else may not align with your values or goals. Celebrating your individuality means embracing the idea that your path doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. It's about finding joy in your progress, no matter how different it may appear. Comparison often stems from deeply ingrained societal messages. From a young age, many are taught to compete, to measure success by external markers like wealth, status, or physical appearance. These comparisons are reinforced by media, social platforms, and cultural norms that glorify certain lifestyles while overlooking the quiet, personal victories that truly matter. Breaking free from these influences requires redefining what success means to you. The key to stopping comparison is shifting your focus inward. Instead of asking, "How do I measure up?" ask, "What do I truly value?" Aligning your actions with your values creates a sense of fulfillment that no external comparison can provide. It shifts your energy from striving to match others to striving to become the best version of yourself. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to comparison. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to see the abundance in your life. Gratitude highlights the unique blessings, opportunities, and strengths that make your journey special. It also fosters contentment, reducing the urge to look outside yourself for validation. Comparison can often lead to envy, a feeling that someone else's success diminishes your own. But envy thrives on a scarcity mindset, the belief that there's only so much success or happiness to go around. Shifting to an abundance mindset helps dismantle this belief. There is room for everyone to thrive. Someone else's accomplishments don't take away from your potential. They simply show what's possible. Learning to celebrate others' successes without diminishing your own is a skill that takes practice. When you see someone achieving something you admire, let it inspire rather than discourage you. Their success can serve as a reminder of what's possible, not a measure of your shortcomings. This perspective transforms jealousy into motivation, turning comparisons into opportunities for growth. Social media can be a major trigger for comparison. It's easy to fall into the trap of scrolling through curated highlights and feeling inadequate. Recognizing that social media often portrays an edited version of reality can help reduce its impact. Limiting your time on these platforms or using them mindfully, focusing on connection rather than comparison, can create a healthier relationship with technology and yourself. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in overcoming comparison. Notice when you start comparing yourself to others and ask, what is this really about? Often, comparison highlights areas where you feel insecure or uncertain. Instead of dwelling on the comparison, use it as a signal to explore those insecurities and address them with self-compassion and action. Building confidence in your own abilities and choices helps counteract the urge to compare. Confidence doesn't mean believing you're better than others. It means trusting in your worth and capabilities. Confidence grows when you set meaningful goals and work steadily toward them, focusing on your progress rather than external benchmarks. Acknowledging your achievements, no matter how small, is essential. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you overlook your own victories. Taking time to reflect on what you've accomplished reinforces your sense of self-worth and reminds you that progress is personal. Celebrate your milestones, even if they don't look like anyone else's. Comparison often blinds you to the struggles others face. While their successes may be visible, their challenges are often hidden. Remembering this helps cultivate empathy and understanding rather than envy. Everyone has battles you cannot see, and acknowledging this truth can bring a sense of connection rather than division. Letting go of comparison also involves practicing self-acceptance. Perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to frustration. Embrace your imperfections as part of what makes you human. Self-acceptance doesn't mean settling for less. It means recognizing your inherent worth while continuing to grow and improve. Detaching your self-worth from external achievements is another important step. Your value is not determined by your job title, bank balance, or accolades. It comes from who you are, not what you have. By focusing on intrinsic qualities like kindness, resilience, and integrity, you build a foundation of self-worth that isn't swayed by external comparisons. Surrounding yourself with supportive and like-minded people can make a significant difference. When you're surrounded by those who celebrate your successes and encourage your growth, you're less likely to feel the need to compete or compare. These connections remind you of the importance of community and the strength that comes from uplifting one another. Mindfulness is a practical tool for breaking the cycle of comparison. By staying present, you redirect your focus from what others are doing to what you're experiencing in the moment. Mindfulness helps you appreciate the here and now, grounding you in your own journey rather than getting lost in someone else's. Taking a break from environments or situations that trigger comparison can be transformative. Whether it's unfollowing accounts that make you feel inadequate, stepping away from competitive conversations, or setting boundaries with people who constantly compare, creating a healthier environment supports your efforts to focus inward. Learning to appreciate progress rather than perfection is vital. Growth is a journey, not a destination, and every step forward counts. By celebrating the small wins, you reinforce the idea that progress is personal and doesn't need to be measured against others. Each step is meaningful because it brings you closer to your goals and values. Practicing kindness toward yourself and others transforms how you approach comparison. When you're kind to yourself, you're less likely to judge your progress harshly. When you extend that kindness to others, you see their successes as a reflection of their journey rather than a critique of your own. Kindness creates a sense of unity, reminding you that we're all navigating life in our own unique ways. Letting go of comparison is not about ignoring others or isolating yourself. It's about shifting the focus back to your path, your progress, and your purpose. By embracing your individuality and celebrating the diversity of journeys around you, you create a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and uniquely yours. As you step away from the cycle of comparison, there's another trap that quietly consumes time and energy: overthinking. It's a loop that feels productive but often leads nowhere. Thoughts race in circles, dissecting every possibility, every outcome, every word spoken or unspoken. Overthinking doesn't provide solutions, it clouds them. It steals clarity and replaces it with endless doubt. Breaking free from this habit is about reclaiming the mental peace that overthinking has taken and learning to channel your thoughts into purposeful action. Overthinking thrives on uncertainty. When faced with a decision or problem, the mind often seeks complete certainty before acting. This need for guarantees fuels an endless loop of what-if questions and hypothetical scenarios. But life rarely offers complete certainty, and waiting for it only delays progress. Accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life can help you move forward. Focus instead on what you know and what you can do right now. One way to disrupt the cycle of overthinking is by grounding yourself in the present moment. Overthinking often pulls you into the past, replaying events and analyzing every detail, or into the future, worrying about outcomes that haven't happened. Bringing your focus back to the here and now creates space for clarity. Techniques like deep breathing, focusing on sensory details, or repeating a grounding phrase can anchor you in the present. Action is a powerful antidote to overthinking. When thoughts spiral, it's easy to feel stuck, trapped in indecision. Taking even the smallest step toward a solution can break the loop. Action shifts your focus from endless analysis to tangible progress. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to move you forward. Progress often reveals insights that overthinking never could. Breaking large problems into smaller, manageable steps also helps quiet the mind. Overthinking often amplifies the size of a challenge, making it feel overwhelming. By focusing on one step at a time, you reduce the mental load and create momentum. Each step builds confidence, showing you that progress is possible even without overanalyzing every detail. Self-awareness is key to overcoming overthinking. Pay attention to the triggers that lead your mind into loops. Is it a fear of failure? A desire for perfection? Identifying these triggers helps you address the root cause of your overthinking. Once you understand what's driving it, you can challenge those thoughts with logic and perspective. Learning to differentiate between useful thinking and overthinking is also essential. Useful thinking leads to solutions and actions, while overthinking rehashes the same concerns without resolution. When you catch yourself overthinking, ask, is this helping me, or is this keeping me stuck? This simple question can redirect your focus toward more productive mental habits. Letting go of control is another important step. Overthinking often stems from a desire to control every outcome, every detail, every interaction. But control is an illusion. Accepting that some things are beyond your influence allows you to release unnecessary mental strain. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your attitude, your perspective, and let the rest unfold as it will. Overthinking can also stem from a fear of making mistakes. This fear creates a mental barrier, keeping you stuck in analysis instead of taking action. Reframing mistakes as opportunities to learn can help you move past this fear. Every choice, even if it doesn't lead to the desired outcome, provides valuable lessons. Trusting your ability to adapt and grow reduces the pressure to get everything right. Setting boundaries with your thoughts is another effective strategy. Just as you might set limits with others to protect your time and energy, you can set limits with your mind. Designate specific times for reflection or problem solving, and when those times are over, redirect your focus to other activities. This practice trains your mind to avoid constant rumination. Writing can also be a powerful tool for managing overthinking. Putting your thoughts on paper provides a sense of clarity and relief. It allows you to see your concerns objectively, making it easier to identify patterns and prioritize solutions. Journaling can also help you track progress and recognize how far you've come in breaking the habit of overthinking. Physical activity plays a surprising role in quieting the mind. Exercise not only reduces stress, but also provides a healthy outlet for pent-up energy and emotions. Whether it's a walk, a workout, or a few minutes of stretching, moving your body helps shift your focus from your thoughts to the present moment. This break from mental loops often brings fresh perspective. Practicing self-compassion is crucial in this journey. Overthinking often comes with a harsh inner critic, replaying mistakes or doubting your abilities. Replacing that criticism with kindness and understanding creates a more supportive mental environment. Remind yourself that it's okay to not have all the answers, and that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Mindfulness meditation is another powerful tool for managing overthinking. Regular practice helps you develop the ability to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. It teaches you to notice when your mind starts to spiral and gently guide it back to the present. This skill becomes a foundation for greater mental clarity and resilience. Overthinking can also be fueled by external influences such as social media, news, or even well-meaning advice from others. Limiting your exposure to these triggers can reduce the mental clutter that contributes to overthinking. Creating boundaries with technology, curating your information sources, and focusing on meaningful interactions help protect your mental space. Cultivating trust in yourself is perhaps the most transformative step. Overthinking often reflects a lack of confidence in your ability to handle challenges. Building self-trust involves acknowledging your strengths, celebrating your achievements, and remembering the obstacles you've already overcome. This trust allows you to make decisions with greater ease, knowing that you can navigate whatever comes next. Letting go of overthinking doesn't mean ignoring your problems or avoiding reflection. It means approaching challenges with a balanced mindset, where thought leads to action rather than endless loops. It's about learning to trust your instincts, embrace uncertainty, and find clarity in the simplicity of the present moment. The process of breaking free from overthinking is ongoing. It requires patience and practice, but each small step brings you closer to mental freedom. As your mind quiets, you'll find more room for creativity, joy, and meaningful action. You'll discover that peace isn't found in figuring everything out. It's found in letting go of the need to. As overthinking loosens its grip and your mind finds clarity, another subtle but deeply impactful habit often goes unnoticed. The way we speak about others and the words we allow into our conversations. Gossip and negative talk may feel harmless in the moment, even entertaining, but they leave an invisible residue on our thoughts and relationships. What we say and what we hear shapes our perception of the world and ourselves. Choosing constructive speech over destructive conversations is not just about kindness. It's about protecting your peace, integrity, and growth. Words are powerful. They can heal, inspire, and connect, but they can also harm, divide, and undermine. Gossip thrives on judgment, half-truths, and speculation, often magnifying flaws or creating unnecessary drama. While it might feel engaging, gossip pulls you into a cycle of negativity that clouds your ability to see others and yourself with empathy and understanding. Breaking free from this habit requires a shift in how you view conversations and their impact. When you engage in negative talk, even passively, it feeds an atmosphere of mistrust. Relationships built on tearing others down are fragile, often rooted in insecurity or competition. In contrast, constructive conversations build trust, respect, and authenticity. Speaking constructively doesn't mean avoiding difficult topics. It means approaching them with intention and care. Instead of criticizing, seek solutions. Instead of spreading rumors, seek truth. Self-awareness is the first step in avoiding gossip. Pay attention to the conversations you gravitate toward and the words you use. Are they driven by curiosity, judgment, or a need for connection? Gossip often disguises itself as concern or sharing, but its underlying tone reveals its true nature. By recognizing these patterns, you can begin to steer conversations in a more positive direction. Another way to break free from gossip is to focus on your intentions. Before speaking about someone, ask yourself, why am I sharing this? Does it help or does it harm? This pause allows you to assess the value of your words. If the conversation doesn't uplift, inform, or address a genuine concern, it might be better left unsaid. Creating boundaries around gossip is essential. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from conversations, but rather setting a standard for the kind of dialogue you engage in. If a discussion turns toward negativity, redirect it. Change the subject, highlight a positive aspect, or gently express your discomfort with the direction of the talk. These actions may feel awkward at first, but they set a tone of integrity that others will notice and respect. Choosing silence is a powerful alternative to participating in negative talk. Silence doesn't mean agreement. It means you refuse to contribute to harm. In moments where you feel pressured to join gossip, holding your peace can speak volumes. It's a quiet act of strength that protects both your integrity and the person being discussed. The energy you invest in conversations is limited. Spending it on gossip drains you of the opportunity to have meaningful, enriching exchanges. Shifting your focus toward constructive talk creates space for ideas, growth, and connection. These are the conversations that leave you feeling energized rather than drained, inspired rather than burdened. Negative talk often reflects more about the speaker than the subject. It reveals insecurities, unresolved frustrations, or unmet needs. Recognizing this can help you approach those who gossip with compassion rather than judgment. Instead of engaging in the negativity, try redirecting the focus to something uplifting or supportive. Your response can influence the tone of the conversation and inspire others to do the same. Constructive speech also involves how you talk to yourself. Internal dialogue often mirrors the conversations we have with others. If your inner voice is critical or negative, it's likely to shape your external words. Practicing self-compassion and positive self-talk creates a foundation for kinder, more constructive interactions with those around you. The company you keep plays a significant role in your conversational habits. Surrounding yourself with people who value uplifting and meaningful discussions makes it easier to avoid gossip and negativity. These relationships encourage growth and create an environment where you feel safe to express yourself without fear of judgment or drama. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in transforming how you engage in conversations. Being present allows you to listen deeply, respond thoughtfully, and choose your words with care. Mindful communication fosters understanding and connection, making every exchange an opportunity for growth rather than division. Replacing gossip with gratitude is a transformative practice. When you feel the urge to criticize or judge, shift your focus to something you appreciate about the person or situation. Gratitude reframes your perspective, helping you see the positive qualities that may have been overshadowed by negativity. Honesty is an important part of constructive speech, but it must be balanced with kindness. Speaking truthfully doesn't mean being harsh or blunt. It means expressing your thoughts in a way that respects others' feelings and promotes understanding. This balance builds trust and creates an atmosphere where open, authentic dialogue can thrive. Addressing conflict constructively is another essential aspect of avoiding gossip. When disagreements arise, it's easy to vent about the other person rather than addressing the issue directly. While venting may feel cathartic, it rarely resolves the problem and often creates further tension. Choosing to communicate directly and respectfully with the person involved fosters resolution and strengthens relationships. Practicing empathy is key to breaking the habit of negative talk. When you view others through a lens of understanding, it becomes harder to criticize or judge. Empathy allows you to see the complexities of people's lives and recognize that everyone is navigating their own challenges. This perspective shifts your focus from fault-finding to compassion. Speaking constructively also involves knowing when to listen. Conversations aren't just about what you say, they're about creating space for others to share. By listening without judgment, you foster trust and create opportunities for deeper connection. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything said, but approaching the dialogue with curiosity and respect. The ripple effect of positive conversations cannot be underestimated. When you choose uplifting speech, it influences those around you, creating a culture of kindness and respect. Your words become a source of encouragement and inspiration, leaving a lasting impact on the people you interact with. Letting go of gossip and negative talk is not about silencing yourself. It's about elevating your conversations to reflect the person you strive to be. It's a commitment to integrity, empathy, and growth. By choosing words that build rather than break, you create a life filled with connection, understanding, and peace. Each conversation becomes an opportunity to bring light into the world, one word at a time. As the power of your words shapes the present, there remains a quiet weight from what came before. The past can be a loyal companion or a relentless shadow. Memories of triumph may lift you, but those of regret, failure, or pain can anchor you, keeping you from moving forward. Grudges and unresolved emotions tether you to moments that no longer exist, yet they still influence your decisions and emotions. Detaching from the past is not about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself to live fully in the present and embracing the future with clarity and purpose. Holding on to the past often feels justified. Painful experiences, betrayals, or personal mistakes can leave deep scars, and revisiting them may seem like a way to protect yourself from future harm. However, this act of clinging often does the opposite. It traps you in cycles of reliving what cannot be changed, robbing you of energy and focus for what can still be created. Releasing the past is an act of courage, signaling your readiness to prioritize the life ahead of you over the life behind you. Detachment begins with acknowledgement. Denying the impact of the past only strengthens its hold. Recognize the experiences that weigh on you, naming them without judgment. Whether it's a relationship that ended poorly, a mistake that lingers in your mind, or a moment of failure that reshaped your confidence, bringing these memories into the light allows you to address them consciously. This step isn't about dwelling on the pain, but about understanding its place in your story. Forgiveness plays a central role in detaching from the past. Forgiving others does not mean condoning their actions. It means choosing to release the emotional grip their behavior has on you. Similarly, forgiving yourself for mistakes or shortcomings is an act of self-compassion, acknowledging your humanity and your capacity to grow. Forgiveness liberates you from the chains of resentment, creating space for healing and peace. Perspective is a powerful tool for reframing the past. When you revisit painful memories, ask yourself what lessons they hold. Challenges often reveal strengths you didn't know you had, while failures can teach resilience and adaptability. By focusing on what you've learned rather than what you've lost, you transform the narrative from one of suffering to one of growth. Living in the present is key to detaching from the past. The more you anchor yourself in the here and now, the less power old memories have over you. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or grounding exercises can help you focus on the immediate moment, quieting the pull of thoughts about what once was. Each present moment offers a choice to engage with life as it is rather than as it was. Detachment also involves letting go of the identity tied to past experiences. Sometimes we define ourselves by what happened to us, whether it's a triumph we cling to or a failure we can't shake. Recognizing that you're more than your history allows you to step into a fuller version of yourself, untethered by outdated labels or roles. Grudges are another common barrier to letting go. Holding on to resentment may feel like holding someone accountable, but it often hurts you more than them. Resentment is a burden you carry alone, one that saps your emotional energy. Releasing it doesn't mean ignoring injustice, but reclaiming your power by refusing to let the actions of others dictate your peace. Regret can be particularly insidious, as it often stems from self-judgment. The choices you didn't make, the paths you didn't take, and the words you didn't say can loom large in your mind, creating a sense of what-ifs that never end. Shifting your focus from regret to acceptance is transformative. Remind yourself that every decision you've made was based on what you knew at the time. Growth comes not from punishing yourself for the past, but from applying its lessons to the future. One practical way to release the past is through ritual. Writing a letter to a past version of yourself, acknowledging your pain or regret, and then releasing it, whether by tearing it up, burning it, or simply filing it away, can be a symbolic act of closure. Rituals give structure to the process of letting go, making it feel tangible and intentional. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also aid in detachment. Trusted friends or mentors can offer fresh perspectives, helping you see the past from a different angle. They remind you of your worth and potential, grounding you in the present and encouraging you to move forward. Focusing on gratitude further weakens the pull of the past. By actively appreciating the people, opportunities, and experiences in your life now, you shift your energy toward what's positive and real. Gratitude redirects your thoughts from loss to abundance, reminding you that there is much to celebrate even if the past holds pain. Creating new experiences helps dilute the weight of old memories. Each time you try something new, meet someone new, or explore a new interest, you build a richer present that overshadows the past. These moments don't erase what happened, but they remind you that life continues to unfold with possibility. Detaching from the past also means setting boundaries with yourself and others. If certain people constantly bring up old events, or if your own thoughts repeatedly return to the same moments, establish limits. Politely steer conversations away from the past and practice redirecting your own thoughts toward the present. Boundaries are a way of protecting the mental space you need to move forward. Patience is essential in this process. Letting go is rarely instantaneous. Some memories or feelings may resurface unexpectedly, and that's okay. Progress is not about never thinking of the past, but about reducing its power over you. Each time you choose to refocus on the present, you strengthen your ability to detach. Detachment is not about erasing the past, but integrating it into your story in a way that serves your growth. The past shapes you, but it doesn't have to define you. By acknowledging its influence, learning from it, and releasing its hold, you create a space for the life you want to build. The freedom that comes from detaching is profound. Without the weight of grudges, regrets, or old failures, you can approach life with a sense of lightness and possibility. Your energy, once tied to what cannot be changed, is now directed toward what can. The path forward becomes clearer, not because the past is forgotten, but because it no longer holds you back. Releasing the past clears a path for what lies ahead. But even as the past loosens its grip, a quieter challenge often lingers: the burden of unrealistic expectations. These expectations are not just about others. They're about life, relationships, and even yourself. They whisper promises of certainty, perfection, or control, promises that often go unfulfilled. Letting go of unrealistic expectations is not about giving up. It's about realigning with reality, embracing flexibility, and finding peace in the unpredictability of life. Expectations can feel like a safety net, offering a sense of structure or control over the unknown. Yet, when they are too rigid or out of touch with reality, they quickly become a source of frustration, disappointment, or resentment. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and holding on to expectations that deny this truth creates a tension that pulls you away from the present. Letting go of these unrealistic standards allows you to approach life with openness and adaptability. One common source of unrealistic expectations is the belief that everything must go perfectly. This mindset sets you up for constant disappointment because perfection is an illusion. Mistakes, setbacks, and challenges are not failures. They are natural parts of growth. By redefining success as progress rather than perfection, you free yourself from the pressure to control every outcome. Another expectation that often goes unchecked is the idea that others should always meet your needs or act according to your standards. While it's natural to have hopes for your relationships, expecting others to behave exactly as you wish denies their individuality. People are complex, shaped by their own experiences, values, and challenges. Accepting this complexity fosters healthier relationships, where understanding and empathy replace control and frustration. Letting go of unrealistic expectations doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means aligning them with reality. Instead of expecting a relationship to be free of conflict, you can expect both parties to work toward resolution. Instead of expecting constant praise at work, you can focus on doing your best and growing from feedback. Realistic expectations are not about settling, they are about building a foundation of resilience and clarity. Flexibility is a powerful tool in navigating expectations. Life's uncertainties often disrupt even the best-laid plans, but flexibility allows you to adapt without losing sight of your goals. When things don't go as expected, flexibility helps you pivot, finding new paths or opportunities instead of clinging to a plan that no longer fits. This mindset transforms obstacles into possibilities. Unrealistic expectations often stem from a desire for control. The more tightly you try to control people or situations, the more resistance you encounter. Accepting that some things are beyond your control is not defeat, it's liberation. This acceptance creates space for gratitude, patience, and a deeper connection to the present moment. Self-compassion is essential in letting go of expectations. Often, the harshest expectations are the ones you place on yourself. You may expect to excel at everything, to never make mistakes, or to always be strong. These standards are not only unrealistic, but also unsustainable. Embracing self-compassion means acknowledging your limits and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. It's a reminder that being human is enough. Unrealistic expectations also thrive on comparison. When you measure your progress against others, it's easy to feel that you're falling short. But comparisons are often based on incomplete information. You see the highlights of someone else's life, not their struggles. Focusing on your unique journey shifts the narrative from "Why am I not there yet?" to "What is my next step?" Gratitude is a powerful antidote to unmet expectations. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to see the abundance in your life. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it provides perspective, reminding you of the moments, people, and experiences that bring joy and meaning. Another aspect of releasing expectations is embracing the concept of enough. Society often encourages more success, more possessions, more achievements, but chasing more can leave you perpetually dissatisfied. Recognizing when something is enough creates a sense of contentment and balance, freeing you from the endless pursuit of an ideal that may not exist. In relationships, letting go of expectations means meeting people where they are. Instead of expecting perfection or change, focus on understanding and appreciating their efforts and intentions. This doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior. It means approaching relationships with empathy and open communication, fostering a connection based on mutual respect rather than unmet demands. Mindfulness plays a key role in managing expectations. By staying present, you can approach each moment without the weight of assumptions or future fears. Mindfulness allows you to engage fully with what is happening now, rather than dwelling on what you think should happen. This shift brings clarity and peace, even in uncertain times. Setting boundaries with your expectations is another important step. Boundaries protect your energy and focus, helping you navigate relationships and responsibilities without overextending yourself. They create a framework for healthy interactions, ensuring that your expectations are clear, fair, and realistic. Practicing forgiveness is also essential. Unrealistic expectations often lead to disappointment, which can breed resentment toward others, yourself, or even life itself. Forgiving these perceived failures is not about dismissing your feelings, but about releasing the grip they have on you. Forgiveness allows you to move forward with a lighter heart. Releasing expectations also involves Embracing impermanence. Change is a constant in life, yet expectations often resist it, clinging to a static vision of how things should be. By accepting the inevitability of change, you cultivate resilience, finding beauty and strength in life's ebb and flow. Creating space for curiosity is another way to let go of rigid expectations. Instead of assuming how a situation will unfold, approach it with an open mind. Curiosity transforms the unknown from a source of fear into a source of possibility. It allows you to engage with life's uncertainties with a sense of wonder rather than anxiety. Recognizing the role of patience in managing expectations is equally important. The desire for immediate results or answers often fuels frustration. Patience reminds you that growth and change take time. It allows you to approach challenges with grace, trusting that progress will come with steady effort. Letting go of unrealistic expectations is not about abandoning hope. It's about aligning your hopes with the reality of life's complexity and unpredictability. It's about finding peace in the process rather than fixating on the outcome. This shift brings a sense of freedom, allowing you to engage with life fully without the constraints of rigid standards. The journey toward releasing unrealistic expectations is ongoing, but each step brings greater clarity, resilience, and peace. It's a practice of meeting life as it is, not as you wish it to be, and discovering the strength and beauty that exist in the present moment. By embracing flexibility and letting go of control, you create space for growth, connection, and fulfillment that are rooted in reality rather than illusion. As you release unrealistic expectations and embrace the freedom of flexibility, another force quietly shapes your perceptions and choices: the endless pull of social media. It's a space filled with connection, inspiration, and information, yet it also overwhelms, distracts, and drains. The time spent scrolling, liking, and consuming often blurs the line between meaningful engagement and mental noise. Cutting back on digital consumption is not about disconnecting entirely. It's about reclaiming focus, clarity, and the ability to live more intentionally. Social media thrives on the allure of instant gratification. Notifications, likes, and comments create a feedback loop that can be addictive. Each interaction provides a small boost of dopamine, keeping you engaged longer than intended. But this constant stimulation comes at a cost. It fragments your attention, making it harder to focus deeply on tasks or connect meaningfully with the people around you. Reducing your time on social media allows your mind to reset, finding calm amidst the noise. One of the most significant impacts of excessive social media use is its effect on your mental clarity. The constant influx of information, from news updates to personal highlights, overloads your mind, leaving little room for reflection or original thought. By limiting your consumption, you create space to process your experiences, explore your ideas, and approach life with greater intention. Reducing time on social media starts with awareness. Pay attention to how often you reach for your device, what triggers you to check your feeds, and how you feel afterward. Are you motivated, inspired, or drained and distracted? Understanding these patterns helps you identify the moments where social media is enriching versus where it becomes a habit of mindless scrolling. Setting boundaries is a practical way to limit social media use. This could mean designating specific times of day for checking your accounts, such as once in the morning and once in the evening, rather than continuously throughout the day. Creating no-phone zones, such as during meals or before bed, helps reinforce these boundaries, allowing you to focus on what's happening in real time. Curating your feeds is another powerful step. The content you consume shapes your mindset, emotions, and energy. If your feed is filled with negativity, unrealistic ideals, or distractions, it's likely contributing to stress or dissatisfaction. Take the time to unfollow accounts that don't add value to your life and prioritize those that inspire, educate, or bring joy. Social media often fosters comparison, as it's a curated showcase of others' lives. This comparison can distort your sense of reality, making you feel as though you're falling behind or missing out. Reducing time online helps shift your focus from external benchmarks to your own unique journey. It reminds you that real life is more nuanced than a highlight reel. Creating intentional replacements for social media time is crucial. Simply limiting use without filling the void can leave you feeling restless or disconnected. Use this newfound time to pursue hobbies, connect with loved ones, or simply rest. These activities not only enrich your life, but also provide a deeper sense of fulfillment than digital interactions. Mindfulness is a valuable tool in managing social media use. By staying present, you can assess whether reaching for your phone is a conscious choice or an automatic habit. Practicing mindfulness in these moments allows you to break the cycle of reflexive scrolling and replace it with more intentional actions. Social media's design often encourages endless consumption, with infinite scrolling and algorithms that keep you hooked. Recognizing this design helps you approach it with a critical mindset. By understanding that the platform's goal is to keep you engaged, you can take back control of your time and energy. Reducing social media use also enhances your relationships. Face-to-face interactions are richer and more meaningful than digital exchanges. When you spend less time on your phone, you're able to fully engage with the people around you, building stronger connections and creating lasting memories. The benefits of cutting back extend to your productivity as well. Social media is one of the biggest sources of distraction, interrupting your focus and reducing your efficiency. By setting limits, you create uninterrupted blocks of time to concentrate on work, personal projects, or simply enjoying the present moment. This focus leads to greater satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. Taking periodic digital detoxes can also be transformative, whether it's a day, a weekend, or longer. Stepping away from social media entirely allows you to reset. These breaks help you reconnect with yourself, gain perspective on your habits, and return with a clearer understanding of how you want to use these platforms moving forward. Self-compassion is important when addressing social media use. It's easy to fall into the trap of guilt or frustration over the time spent online, but these feelings only create further stress. Approach the process with kindness, acknowledging that breaking habits takes time and effort. Celebrate small victories, such as reducing daily screen time or resisting the urge to check your phone during a conversation. Understanding the long-term impacts of excessive social media use can provide motivation to change. Studies have linked heavy use to increased anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation. By reducing your reliance on these platforms, you protect your mental health and create space for more meaningful and uplifting experiences. Using social media intentionally doesn't mean avoiding it altogether. These platforms can be powerful tools for connection, education, and inspiration when used mindfully. Focus on quality over quantity, engaging in conversations or content that align with your values and interests. This intentional use makes each interaction more meaningful. Developing offline habits that fulfill similar needs can help reduce dependence on social media. If you use it for inspiration, try reading books or exploring nature. If connection is your goal, prioritize phone calls or in-person meetings. Finding offline alternatives strengthens your ability to engage with the world beyond the screen. Gratitude can also shift your relationship with social media. By focusing on what you appreciate in your life, you're less likely to seek validation or fulfillment online. Gratitude grounds you in the present, reminding you of the richness of your real-world experiences and connections. Reducing social media use requires patience and persistence. The habit of constant checking is deeply ingrained, and breaking it won't happen overnight. Start small, gradually building healthier habits that align with your goals and values. Over time, these changes become second nature, creating a more balanced and intentional way of engaging with technology. As your time on social media decreases, you'll notice a ripple effect in other areas of your life. Your focus improves, your relationships deepen, and your sense of clarity grows. The mental space once filled with endless scrolling is now available for creativity, connection, and growth. This shift is not just about reducing screen time, it's about reclaiming your life. As you step back from the overwhelming pull of social media and its grasp on your time and focus, another profound question arises. How much of yourself should you offer to the world? In an era where sharing has become second nature, revealing too much about your personal life can blur boundaries and leave you vulnerable. Protecting your privacy isn't about closing yourself off, but about maintaining control over your narrative, ensuring that what you share aligns with your values and intentions. The less you expose, the more you safeguard your peace, relationships, and sense of self. The urge to share often comes from a desire for connection, validation, or simply the joy of storytelling. Yet, when the line between sharing and oversharing is crossed, it can lead to unintended consequences. Personal details, once released, can't be taken back, and their interpretation is no longer under your control. Restraint in what you disclose helps preserve the sanctity of your personal life while allowing you to engage meaningfully with the world. Maintaining boundaries in sharing starts with self-awareness. Before revealing something personal, pause and ask yourself why you feel compelled to share it. Are you seeking validation? Trying to impress? Venting frustrations? Understanding your motivation helps you determine whether sharing aligns with your goals or if it's better kept private. The people you share with matter just as much as what you share. Not every person in your life needs access to your innermost thoughts or experiences. Consider the level of trust and intimacy you share with someone before deciding what to disclose. Maintaining selectiveness strengthens relationships by ensuring that the information you share is valued and respected. Oversharing can sometimes stem from a lack of comfort with silence or stillness. In conversations, the need to fill gaps can lead to revealing more than intended. Embracing silence as a natural part of dialogue allows for more thoughtful interactions. It's in these pauses that deeper connections often emerge, without the need for excessive disclosure. Protecting your privacy also involves recognizing the boundaries of others. Sharing too much can sometimes place an emotional burden on those around you, especially if the information is deeply personal or unresolved. Respecting the balance between openness and consideration ensures that your sharing fosters connection rather than overwhelm. The digital realm poses unique challenges to maintaining privacy. Sharing personal details online, whether through social media or other platforms, can expose you to judgment, misunderstanding, or even misuse of your information. Before posting, ask yourself whether the content contributes meaningfully to your goals or if it serves fleeting gratification. The Internet's permanence makes thoughtful consideration essential. Being mindful of what you share in professional settings is equally important. Over-disclosing personal struggles or opinions in the workplace can blur lines and impact your reputation. Striking a balance between authenticity and professionalism ensures that your relationships at work remain respectful and productive. Trusting yourself to hold onto your own narrative is empowering. Not every experience or thought needs validation from others to hold value. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, you affirm your ability to process, reflect, and grow independently. This inner trust nurtures self-reliance and strengthens your sense of identity. Privacy also fosters mystery, a quality that enhances personal and professional relationships. When you withhold certain details, it invites curiosity and respect, encouraging others to engage with you more thoughtfully. Mystery is not about being secretive, but about preserving the richness of your inner world. Sharing selectively doesn't mean avoiding vulnerability. It means choosing when, where, and with whom to be vulnerable. Authenticity is powerful, but it requires discernment. By opening up in the right moments, with the right people, you create deeper connections without sacrificing your boundaries. Over-disclosure can also dilute the significance of what you share. When every detail of your life is made public, it can lose its impact or meaning. Selective sharing ensures that your words carry weight and that your stories are received with the attention they deserve. Recognizing the risks of oversharing is essential in protecting your peace. Misunderstood or misused information can lead to conflicts, judgments, or regrets. By limiting what you share, you reduce the potential for misunderstandings and maintain greater control over your interactions. Practicing gratitude can also reduce the urge to overshare. When you focus on appreciating your experiences internally, you're less likely to seek external validation. Gratitude grounds you in the richness of your life, reminding you that not every moment needs to be public to be meaningful. Building strong personal boundaries in sharing also involves recognizing triggers. Stress, excitement, or a need for connection can sometimes lead to impulsive disclosures. Developing the habit of pausing before you speak or post gives you time to evaluate whether sharing aligns with your values and priorities. Listening more than you speak is another way to reduce oversharing while deepening your relationships. By focusing on understanding others rather than being understood, you foster trust and connection without the need to reveal too much about yourself. This shift also helps you learn from others' experiences and perspectives. Learning to say no, even when it feels uncomfortable, is a key skill in protecting your privacy. If someone pressures you to share details you'd rather keep private, it's okay to set boundaries. Phrases like, "I prefer not to talk about that right now," can communicate your limits with respect and firmness. Honoring your privacy also means protecting it from your own tendencies. Journaling or private reflection provides an outlet for your thoughts and feelings without requiring an audience. This practice helps you process experiences internally, reducing the need to seek validation or feedback from others. Reducing the habit of oversharing cultivates emotional resilience. When you keep certain aspects of your life private, you build a stronger sense of independence and self-assurance. Your worth is no longer tied to external reactions or opinions, but rests firmly within you. By maintaining personal boundaries, you also create space for deeper connections with yourself. Reflection becomes more meaningful when it's not filtered through the expectations or judgments of others. This inner dialogue helps you understand your desires, fears, and values with greater clarity. Privacy isn't about isolation, it's about intentionality. Choosing what to share and what to hold back gives you control over your story, allowing you to engage with the world on your terms. It ensures that your energy is directed toward relationships and conversations that truly matter. When you avoid sharing too much, you also give others the chance to share more. This balance creates reciprocal relationships where vulnerability and openness are mutual rather than one-sided. It fosters trust and respect, enriching your connections. Ultimately, protecting your privacy is an act of self-respect. It acknowledges the value of your experiences and the importance of safeguarding them. By sharing selectively, you honor yourself and those around you, creating a life rooted in intention, integrity, and peace. As you honor your boundaries and preserve the sanctity of your personal life, another quietly persistent pressure often lingers: the pursuit of perfection. This endless chase whispers promises of validation, accomplishment, and worthiness. Yet, perfection is an illusion, an unattainable ideal that often leaves you feeling inadequate and exhausted. Embracing imperfection is not about giving up on growth, but about understanding that flaws and mistakes are essential to becoming your most authentic and resilient self. Perfectionism thrives on the belief that your value is tied to how flawless you appear or how seamlessly you perform. This belief often stems from societal expectations, childhood experiences, or internalized pressures to succeed. It convinces you that anything less than perfect is failure, trapping you in a cycle of overwork, self-doubt, and dissatisfaction. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to breaking free. Embracing imperfection begins with redefining success. True success is not about being flawless, but about showing up, trying, and growing through the process. It's about progress, not perfection. Shifting your mindset from achieving to evolving allows you to focus on effort and improvement rather than unattainable ideals. Mistakes are often viewed as failures, but they're one of the most powerful tools for growth. Each misstep teaches a lesson, reveals a new perspective, or strengthens your resilience. By reframing mistakes as opportunities, you can approach challenges with curiosity instead of fear, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Perfectionism often creates a fear of vulnerability. The desire to appear perfect can make you hesitant to share your struggles, ask for help, or take risks. Yet, vulnerability is where connection and creativity thrive. Allowing yourself to be seen as imperfect fosters deeper relationships and encourages innovation by creating space for experimentation and learning. The pursuit of perfection can also lead to burnout as you push yourself to meet impossible standards. Embracing imperfection involves recognizing your limits and valuing rest as an essential part of productivity and growth. Taking breaks, delegating tasks, or simply pausing to breathe allows you to recharge and approach your goals with renewed energy. Comparison is a common trigger for perfectionism. When you measure yourself against others, you often see only their successes while overlooking their struggles. This skewed perspective fuels the belief that you must achieve more or be more to measure up. Focusing on your unique journey rather than comparing it to others helps you cultivate a sense of self-worth that isn't tied to external benchmarks. Perfectionism can also manifest as a fear of starting something new. The thought of not doing it perfectly can prevent you from even trying. Overcoming this fear involves taking small, manageable steps and allowing yourself to be a beginner. Growth comes from action, not from waiting for the perfect moment or conditions. Letting go of perfection means embracing the beauty of imperfection in all areas of life. Nature, art, and human relationships are often most beautiful in their flaws and unpredictability. This perspective reminds you that imperfection is not a flaw to be fixed, but a reality to be appreciated and celebrated. Practicing self-compassion is a vital part of releasing perfectionism. The inner critic that drives perfectionism thrives on harsh judgment and unrealistic expectations. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a supportive inner dialogue that encourages growth without pressure or fear. The pursuit of perfection often leads to procrastination, as the fear of falling short delays action. Accepting that your work or effort doesn't need to be perfect to have value helps you move forward. Starting imperfectly is often the key to building momentum and making meaningful progress. Perfectionism can also isolate you, as the fear of judgment or rejection keeps you from connecting with others. Embracing imperfection allows you to show up authentically, building relationships based on honesty and mutual respect. These connections are far more fulfilling than those built on a facade of flawlessness. Learning to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, is another way to counter perfectionism. Perfectionism often focuses on what's lacking rather than what's present. Taking time to acknowledge your efforts and successes shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, reinforcing a sense of gratitude and pride in your journey. Flexibility is an antidote to the rigidity of perfectionism. Life is unpredictable, and clinging to a perfect plan often leads to frustration. Embracing adaptability allows you to navigate changes with grace, finding new paths and possibilities when things don't go as expected. Perfectionism often ties your worth to your achievements, creating a cycle where you constantly seek external validation. Breaking free involves recognizing that your value is inherent, not conditional. You are enough as you are, regardless of your accomplishments or mistakes. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in releasing perfectionism. By staying present, you can engage fully with the process rather than fixating on the outcome. Mindfulness encourages you to appreciate each step, finding joy in the journey rather than waiting for a perfect finish. Letting go of the need for perfection also fosters creativity. Creativity flourishes in imperfection, where there is room to experiment, play, and explore without fear of failure. Allowing yourself to create imperfectly opens the door to innovation and self-expression. Embracing imperfection doesn't mean settling for less or avoiding growth. It means understanding that growth is messy, non-linear, and deeply human. Each step, whether smooth or challenging, contributes to your development. This perspective allows you to approach life with patience and resilience. Releasing perfectionism also enhances your relationships. When you accept your own imperfections, you're better able to accept those of others. This creates a foundation of empathy and understanding, where connections thrive without the pressure of unrealistic expectations. The freedom that comes from letting go of perfection is profound. Without the weight of impossible standards, you can approach life with lightness, curiosity, and joy. You become more open to opportunities, more willing to take risks, and more at peace with yourself. Letting go of perfection is a practice, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort and self-awareness, but each step brings greater clarity and liberation. Embracing imperfection is not about lowering your standards. It's about aligning them with the reality of what it means to be human, finding strength, beauty, and growth in the journey, flaws and all. As the weight of perfection begins to lift, a deeper layer of tension often reveals itself: the relentless need to control. The drive to oversee every detail, outcome, or decision can feel like a way to maintain order and security, yet it often breeds frustration, anxiety, and exhaustion. Letting go of this need is not about surrendering to chaos, but about recognizing the power of focus and choosing where your energy truly matters. Releasing control is a courageous act of trust in yourself, in others, and in life itself. Control is often rooted in fear of failure, of the unknown, or of losing something meaningful. It whispers that if you can just manage every variable, you can prevent discomfort or disappointment. But life is vast and unpredictable, and the illusion of control often leaves you chasing what cannot be caught. Accepting this truth brings peace, allowing you to direct your energy toward what you can influence while letting go of what lies beyond your reach. Focusing on what is within your power is both liberating and grounding. Your thoughts, actions, and attitudes are the domains where your influence is strongest. By prioritizing these areas, you reclaim a sense of agency without the draining burden of trying to control everything. This shift empowers you to act with intention rather than react out of fear. Letting go of control doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means discerning where your efforts will have the most impact. When faced with challenges, ask yourself, is this something I can change, or is it something I must accept? This simple question helps you navigate situations with clarity, reducing unnecessary stress. Trust is a key component in releasing control. Trusting others to fulfill their roles, trusting the process of life, and trusting yourself to adapt to unforeseen circumstances creates space for growth and connection. Control often stems from a lack of trust, a belief that things will fall apart without your constant oversight. Replacing this belief with trust builds resilience and strengthens your relationships. Micromanaging is a common symptom of the need for control. Whether in personal or professional settings, trying to oversee every detail not only drains your energy, but also undermines others' autonomy. Learning to delegate and accept that tasks may be completed differently than you would have done them fosters collaboration and respect. The need for control often manifests in rigid expectations. When plans deviate or outcomes differ from what you envisioned, the discomfort can feel overwhelming. Flexibility is the antidote to this rigidity. By embracing adaptability, you open yourself to new possibilities and opportunities that strict control would have overlooked. Control thrives on the illusion of certainty, yet life is inherently uncertain. Embracing uncertainty as a natural part of existence allows you to approach challenges with curiosity rather than resistance. This mindset shift transforms uncertainty from a source of fear into a space for discovery and growth. Letting go of control also involves releasing the need to predict or plan for every outcome. While preparation is valuable, over-planning can become a form of mental clutter, consuming time and energy without guaranteeing results. Balancing preparation with presence ensures that your focus remains on the moment rather than an imagined future. Mindfulness is a powerful practice for releasing control. By staying present, you can engage fully with what is happening now, rather than worrying about what might happen next. Mindfulness teaches you to respond to life as it unfolds, rather than trying to force it into a predefined shape. Perfectionism and control are often intertwined, each fueling the other. Releasing the need for control requires embracing imperfection, not as a flaw, but as a reality of life. Allowing things to be as they are, rather than as you wish them to be, fosters acceptance and reduces stress. Control can also strain relationships, as the desire to influence others' choices or behaviors creates tension. Respecting others' autonomy while setting healthy boundaries allows for more authentic connections. Relationships built on trust and mutual respect thrive, while those bound by control often falter. The desire for control often extends to emotions, with an effort to suppress or avoid uncomfortable feelings. Yet emotions, like life itself, are fluid and unpredictable. Allowing yourself to feel without judgment creates emotional resilience and reduces the internal struggle that control creates. Recognizing the limits of control doesn't mean giving up. It means focusing your efforts where they matter most. This perspective is empowering, not passive. It redirects your energy from the impossible task of controlling everything to the meaningful work of influencing what you can. Gratitude is a helpful practice in releasing control. By focusing on what is already present and good in your life, you shift your attention from what you lack to what you have. Gratitude reminds you that not everything needs to be controlled to be valuable or meaningful. Letting go of control also fosters creativity. When you're no longer bound by rigid expectations, you create space for exploration, experimentation, and innovation. Creativity thrives in openness, where mistakes are seen as part of the process rather than obstacles to avoid. Releasing control is not a one-time act, but an ongoing practice. Life will continually present situations that challenge your ability to let go. Each time you choose acceptance over resistance, you strengthen your ability to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and ease. Freedom lies in focusing on what you can do and letting the rest unfold as it will. By relinquishing the need for control, you create a life rooted in trust, presence, and possibility. This shift allows you to engage with the world more fully, appreciating its unpredictability as a source of growth and wonder. Letting go of the need to control everything opens a door to acceptance, yet one challenge often remains: the tendency to judge. Judgmental attitudes create divisions, foster misunderstanding, and weigh heavily on your own peace of mind. Letting go of judgment is not about abandoning discernment. It's about shifting from criticism to curiosity, from labeling to learning. By fostering empathy and understanding, you not only transform your perspective, but also nurture deeper connections with the world around you. Judgment often stems from incomplete information. When encountering a person or situation, it's tempting to draw conclusions based on surface details or past experiences. These snap judgments, though often instinctive, can be misleading. Pausing to consider what you might not know, someone's history, struggles, or intentions, allows you to approach with empathy rather than criticism. This pause creates space for understanding. Letting go of judgment starts with self-awareness. Recognize when judgmental thoughts arise and reflect on their source. Are they rooted in insecurity, fear, or unmet expectations? Understanding your own triggers helps you dismantle the internal patterns that lead to judgment. This introspection shifts the focus from fault-finding to self-growth. Empathy is the cornerstone of releasing judgment. Placing yourself in someone else's shoes, even for a moment, changes how you perceive their actions or choices. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everyone or excusing harmful behavior. It means seeking to understand the factors that shape others. This perspective fosters compassion and reduces the impulse to judge. Listening deeply is another powerful tool for dismantling judgment. Often, judgments are formed before truly hearing someone's story. By practicing active listening, focusing fully on what someone is saying without planning your response, you gain insight into their perspective and build a bridge of connection. Listening allows you to replace assumptions with understanding. Judgment can also stem from a fear of difference, whether it's a lifestyle, belief, or behavior that contrasts with your own. The unfamiliar can trigger discomfort. Embracing curiosity instead of judgment helps you approach these differences as opportunities to learn. Curiosity invites dialogue and exploration, while judgment shuts down connection. Self-judgment is closely tied to how we judge others. Harsh criticism of yourself often translates into a critical view of the world. Practicing self-compassion softens this cycle, creating a kinder inner dialogue that naturally extends to those around you. When you accept your own imperfections, it becomes easier to accept the imperfections of others. Letting go of judgment also involves setting aside the need to be right. The desire to prove your perspective as superior can drive division and defensiveness. Releasing this need opens the door to mutual understanding, where conversations are about sharing and learning rather than winning. The act of labeling, whether of people, situations, or even yourself, often simplifies complex realities into reductive categories. These labels limit your ability to see the full picture. Reframing labels into descriptions that allow for nuance and growth helps dismantle the rigidity of judgment. People and circumstances are ever-changing. Seeing them as dynamic fosters a more open-minded approach. Gratitude is a surprising antidote to judgment. By focusing on what you appreciate in others or in a situation, you shift your energy from criticism to celebration. Gratitude highlights strengths and potential, reminding you that perfection is neither necessary nor realistic. Cultural and societal conditioning also play a role in shaping judgmental attitudes. Becoming aware of these influences helps you question inherited biases or assumptions. This awareness is not about guilt, but about creating room for conscious choice. When you understand the roots of your judgments, you gain the power to reshape them. Mindfulness is another powerful practice in releasing judgment. By staying present, you can observe your thoughts without attaching to them. Mindfulness helps you notice when judgment arises, allowing you to let it pass without acting on it. This practice cultivates a sense of inner calm and clarity. Judgment often creates barriers in relationships. Criticism, whether spoken or silent, can distance you from others and erode trust. Choosing empathy and understanding over judgment builds stronger connections. These connections thrive on mutual respect and acceptance, where differences are embraced rather than criticized. Releasing judgment also involves letting go of the need for control over others' choices. Accepting that people have the right to live according to their values and perspectives, even if they differ from yours, fosters peace. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but recognizing that your role is not to change others, but to focus on your own growth. Letting go of judgment doesn't mean abandoning discernment. It's important to recognize harmful patterns or behaviors, but this recognition can come from a place of clarity rather than criticism. Discernment seeks solutions, while judgment seeks fault. This distinction creates space for constructive action. Vulnerability is key to reducing judgment. Often, judgments serve as a defense mechanism to protect against feelings of insecurity or fear. By embracing vulnerability, you create space for authenticity and openness. Vulnerability reminds you that everyone is navigating their own challenges, reducing the need to compare or criticize. Releasing judgment enhances your inner peace. The mental energy spent critiquing others or yourself is exhausting. By shifting your focus to understanding and acceptance, you free up this energy for more meaningful pursuits. This shift doesn't just benefit others, it creates a lighter, more compassionate space within yourself. Perspective taking is a valuable exercise in dismantling judgment. Reflecting on how someone else might view the same situation broadens your understanding. This practice doesn't mean abandoning your own perspective, but recognizing that multiple truths can coexist. This openness enriches your worldview. Replacing judgment with kindness is transformative. Kindness doesn't require agreement or approval. It's a choice to respond with care rather than criticism. This shift not only strengthens relationships, but also fosters a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Letting go of judgment is an ongoing process. It requires patience, practice, and self-awareness, but each step brings greater connection, peace, and understanding. By fostering empathy and releasing the need to critique, you create a life rooted in curiosity, compassion, and acceptance. This journey transforms not only how you see others, but also how you see yourself. As judgment begins to dissolve, relationships naturally come into sharper focus. Some connections are built on trust, mutual respect, and genuine care, while others linger as sources of tension, complexity, or imbalance. These overcomplicated relationships often sap energy without providing the depth or reciprocity necessary for growth. Simplifying these dynamics is not about cutting ties recklessly, but about quietly and intentionally disengaging from relationships that no longer serve your well-being. It's a process of reclaiming peace, clarity, and emotional balance. Complicated relationships often develop over time, rooted in unresolved conflicts, mismatched expectations, or a lack of communication. These relationships might be with colleagues, friends, family members, or even romantic partners. Their complexity arises not from the individuals themselves, but from the patterns and dynamics that persist without resolution. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. By acknowledging where energy is being drained rather than replenished, you create an opportunity to address or release these ties. Disengaging from over-complicated relationships begins with self-awareness. Reflect on how certain interactions make you feel. Do they leave you drained, anxious, or unfulfilled? Pay attention to patterns, not just isolated incidents. Relationships should bring a sense of mutual respect and understanding, even through challenges. When this balance is consistently absent, it's a sign to reassess their place in your life. Setting boundaries is an essential part of simplifying relationships. Boundaries are not walls, but guidelines that define your emotional and physical limits. They protect your energy and create clarity in interactions. Establishing boundaries may mean limiting the time you spend with someone, reframing how you engage in conversations, or stepping back entirely from a dynamic that feels harmful. Clear boundaries benefit both parties by reducing misunderstandings and fostering respect. Communication plays a crucial role in simplifying relationships. While some complexities stem from genuine differences, others arise from unspoken expectations or misinterpretations. Honest and kind conversations can help clarify intentions and resolve tension. However, not all relationships will respond positively to such efforts. In these cases, quietly stepping back becomes an act of self-preservation. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you often involves guilt or hesitation. You may worry about hurting others, appearing selfish, or disrupting the status quo. Releasing these fears requires a shift in perspective. Simplifying relationships is not about rejecting people, but about prioritizing your well-being. When a relationship becomes more about obligation than connection, both individuals suffer. Choosing to step away allows for growth on both sides. It's important to recognize that not all relationships are meant to last forever. Some connections serve a purpose in specific phases of life, but naturally evolve or fade with time. Holding on to relationships out of nostalgia or habit often prevents you from forming new, more aligned connections. Accepting the impermanence of relationships creates space for authenticity and growth. The process of simplifying relationships also involves forgiveness, both for yourself and others. Complex dynamics often carry unresolved emotions such as resentment, disappointment, or regret. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, it means releasing the emotional weight these feelings carry. Forgiveness frees you from the past, allowing you to move forward without bitterness or attachment. Fostering relationships that align with your values becomes easier as you simplify those that don't. When your energy is no longer tied to overcomplicated dynamics, you can invest more fully in connections that inspire, support, and challenge you in healthy ways. These relationships thrive on mutual respect, trust, and a shared commitment to growth. Understanding the role of reciprocity is key. Healthy relationships are marked by a balance of giving and receiving. When one person consistently gives while the other takes, the imbalance leads to frustration and resentment. Simplifying relationships means recognizing these imbalances and deciding whether they can be addressed or if it's better to step back. Social expectations can complicate relationships further. The pressure to maintain appearances, fulfill roles, or conform to cultural norms often keeps unhealthy dynamics in place. Challenging these expectations requires courage, but leads to greater authenticity. Living according to your values rather than societal pressures brings clarity to which relationships deserve your time and energy. Gratitude can also play a role in simplifying relationships. Focusing on the positive aspects of your connections helps you distinguish between relationships worth nurturing and those that drain you. Gratitude doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but recognizing the good while making intentional choices about where to invest your energy. Quietly disengaging from overcomplicated relationships doesn't always mean cutting ties completely. In some cases, it involves reducing your emotional reliance on certain dynamics while maintaining a respectful distance. This approach allows you to preserve the connection without sacrificing your well-being. It's a gentle way of prioritizing your needs while honoring the other person's place in your life. Simplifying relationships also means being honest with yourself about your own role in the complexity. Are there patterns of behavior, such as people-pleasing or avoidance, that contribute to the tension? Taking responsibility for your part fosters self-awareness and empowers you to create healthier dynamics moving forward. Surrounding yourself with relationships that uplift and inspire you strengthens your sense of identity and purpose. These connections remind you of your worth and provide a support system during challenges. By prioritizing these relationships, you build a foundation of trust and encouragement that enhances your overall well-being. Simplicity in relationships fosters a sense of freedom. When your connections are rooted in mutual respect and understanding, you can engage without the burden of pretense or obligation. This freedom allows you to show up authentically, deepening the quality of your interactions and enriching your life. Letting go of overcomplicated relationships is a gradual process, one that requires patience and self-compassion. It's not about immediate transformation, but about making intentional choices that align with your values and needs. Each step towards simplicity brings greater peace, clarity, and fulfillment. As you simplify your relationships, you'll find that your energy becomes more focused and your connections more meaningful. The noise of unnecessary tension fades, leaving room for authenticity, joy, and growth. This process is not just about who remains in your life, but about how you choose to show up in each relationship, with intention, respect, and clarity. As relationships become clearer and lighter through intentional choices, another challenge often arises: the pain of being ignored by someone whose attention or affection you value. This scenario stirs feelings of rejection, frustration, and self-doubt. Yet, Stoicism offers a path to transform this experience into one of self-discovery and empowerment. Attracting someone who seems indifferent is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about cultivating qualities within yourself that naturally draw others closer while embracing peace, regardless of the outcome. When someone ignores you, it's easy to internalize their actions as a reflection of your worth. Stoicism teaches the importance of separating what's within your control from what is not. You cannot dictate another person's feelings or choices, but you can control how you respond. This shift in focus allows you to reclaim your power, recognizing that your value is not diminished by their indifference. Attraction begins with self-respect. People are naturally drawn to those who carry themselves with confidence and authenticity. By nurturing your self-esteem, you send a message of value that doesn't rely on external validation. This isn't about arrogance, but about recognizing your worth and refusing to chase approval. A strong sense of self creates a magnetic energy that often makes others take notice. Silence can feel unbearable when someone ignores you, but reacting impulsively often pushes them further away. Stoicism emphasizes the power of composure. By maintaining calm and resisting the urge to demand attention, you project emotional strength. This steadiness signals that your sense of self isn't dependent on another's response, creating a foundation of respect rather than desperation. Curiosity about the other person's perspective helps you approach the situation with empathy rather than frustration. Their behavior might stem from their own struggles, insecurities, or circumstances unrelated to you. By considering their viewpoint, you cultivate understanding and compassion, which are far more appealing than bitterness or resentment. Attraction is often tied to the energy you bring to interactions. When your focus is entirely on being noticed or accepted, it can feel heavy and strained. Shifting your energy toward joy, curiosity, and self-improvement creates a lighter, more inviting presence. Engage in activities that make you feel alive and fulfilled. This vitality naturally draws others in, as it reflects a life well lived rather than one centered on seeking external validation. Stoicism teaches the value of detachment from outcomes. Clinging too tightly to the idea of attracting someone can create pressure and tension. By releasing the need for a specific result, you allow interactions to unfold organically. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means showing up authentically without being consumed by the need for reciprocation. Honest self-reflection is a key aspect of navigating relationships. Consider whether the person's attention aligns with your values and desires. Are you drawn to them because of who they are, or because of the challenge their indifference presents? Clarifying your motivations ensures that your efforts are grounded in authenticity rather than a fleeting need for validation. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. Instead of fixating on the person who ignores you, appreciate the relationships and connections that do nourish and value you. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, reminding you that your worth isn't dependent on any single individual's recognition. Clear boundaries are essential in maintaining your self-respect. If someone consistently ignores or dismisses you, it's important to evaluate whether their behavior aligns with the kind of relationships you seek. Boundaries are not about punishing others, but about protecting your energy and ensuring mutual respect in your connections. Patience is a virtue often overlooked in matters of attraction. Building genuine connections takes time. Stoicism encourages embracing the process rather than rushing toward an outcome. By practicing patience, you allow space for growth, both in yourself and in the potential relationship. Your actions speak louder than words when attracting someone's attention. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not for them, but for your own growth and fulfillment. This self-improvement often has the unintended effect of drawing others closer, as they're inspired by your authenticity and drive. Listening is one of the most underrated yet powerful ways to connect with someone. When you do have the opportunity to engage, prioritize understanding over being understood. Genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings creates a connection rooted in respect and care, which is far more impactful than trying to impress or persuade. Confidence without arrogance is magnetic. Standing firm in your beliefs, expressing your thoughts honestly, and respecting yourself sets a tone of mutual respect. Confidence rooted in humility shows that you value yourself while remaining open to others, striking a balance that many find irresistible. Rejection, whether explicit or implicit, can be a powerful teacher. Stoicism frames setbacks as opportunities for growth. Use the experience of being ignored to reflect on your own patterns, expectations, and emotional resilience. Each interaction, regardless of outcome, adds to your understanding of yourself and others. Detachment from ego is another critical Stoic principle in this context. Often the pain of being ignored stems not from the actual loss of connection, but from the blow to your pride. Releasing this attachment to ego allows you to approach the situation with clarity, free from the need to prove or protect your worth. The company you keep shapes how others perceive you. Surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting relationships creates a ripple effect that often attracts new connections. People are drawn to those who exude a sense of belonging and warmth, which is cultivated through meaningful interactions with others. Authenticity is the foundation of true attraction. Pretending to be someone you're not, or overcompensating to gain attention, rarely leads to lasting connections. Being genuine in your words and actions not only builds trust, but also ensures that the relationships you form are rooted in truth rather than pretense. Attraction isn't always about drawing someone closer. Sometimes it's about stepping back and giving them space. This space allows the other person to reflect on their own feelings and priorities without pressure. Paradoxically, stepping back often creates curiosity and respect, as it demonstrates your self-assurance and emotional independence. The journey of attracting someone who ignores you is as much about self-discovery as it is about connection. By embodying the principles of Stoicism, self-respect, detachment, patience, and authenticity, you create a life filled with meaning and purpose, regardless of whether their attention is gained. This transformation often leads to the most fulfilling connections of all, as they're built on mutual admiration and genuine resonance. As you embrace the wisdom of letting go and cultivating inner peace, a deeper truth begins to emerge. The things meant for you are not found in frantic pursuit, but in calm alignment. Stoicism teaches that chasing after what you desire often leads to frustration and emptiness, while attracting what belongs to you stems from living authentically and purposefully. This shift from grasping to receiving is not about passivity, but about creating a life that naturally draws the right people, opportunities, and outcomes into your path. The impulse to chase often comes from fear, the fear of missing out, of being left behind, or of not having enough. Yet, this constant striving overlooks the power of stillness. When you chase, you operate from a place of lack, projecting desperation or neediness that repels rather than attracts. By stepping back, you make space for what truly aligns with your values and purpose to find its way to you. Attracting begins with understanding your core values and aligning your actions with them. When you live authentically, you exude a sense of purpose and clarity that naturally draws like-minded people and opportunities. This isn't about trying to impress or influence others, but about being so grounded in who you are that the right connections become inevitable. Self-confidence is a cornerstone of attraction. Confidence is not about arrogance or dominance. It's about a quiet assurance in your worth and abilities. When you value yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you. This inner respect radiates outward, creating a presence that commands attention without demanding it. Patience is another key element. Chasing often stems from impatience, a refusal to let life unfold at its own pace. Stoicism teaches that time is a critical factor in all things, and what is meant for you will come when the conditions are right. Trusting this process requires discipline, but rewards you with outcomes that feel more aligned and fulfilling. Gratitude transforms your perspective from lack to abundance. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, appreciating what's already present in your life creates a sense of contentment and completeness. Gratitude shifts your energy, making you more magnetic to others because you operate from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. Letting go of attachment to specific outcomes is a powerful way to attract what is meant for you. Attachment often creates tension and anxiety as you tie your happiness to a single result. By focusing on effort rather than results, you align yourself with the flow of life, allowing opportunities to arise naturally without force or manipulation. Your energy speaks louder than your words or actions. People are drawn to those who exude calmness, positivity, and authenticity. By cultivating a mindset of peace and purpose, you create an aura that attracts what resonates with your true self. This energy cannot be faked. It comes from genuinely living in alignment with your values. Boundaries play a crucial role in this process. When you chase, you often compromise your boundaries to please others or gain their approval. Attracting, on the other hand, requires clear boundaries that protect your energy and prioritize your well-being. Boundaries signal self-respect, which naturally draws respect from others. Resilience is another quality that enhances your ability to attract rather than chase. Life will not always go according to plan, and setbacks are inevitable. Instead of reacting with frustration or desperation, resilience allows you to adapt and remain grounded. This steadiness makes you a source of inspiration and strength, further enhancing your magnetism. Authenticity is irresistible. Pretending to be something you're not, or altering yourself to fit others' expectations, only creates superficial connections. When you show up as your genuine self, you attract relationships and opportunities that align with your truth. This authenticity fosters deeper, more meaningful connections that stand the test of time. Silence and stillness are powerful tools in attracting what belongs to you. Chasing often involves noise, constant action, explanations, or efforts to prove your worth. Silence, by contrast, creates space for reflection and growth. It allows others to approach you, drawn by the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your own value. Curiosity and openness enhance your ability to attract the right opportunities. When you approach life with an open mind, you become receptive to possibilities you might otherwise overlook. This openness signals adaptability and a willingness to grow, qualities that naturally draw others toward you. Detachment is a core Stoic principle that applies to attraction. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means releasing the emotional weight tied to specific outcomes. When you detach, you allow life to flow more freely, creating an environment where what is meant for you can come without resistance or force. Consistency in your actions and values reinforces your ability to attract what aligns with you. People and opportunities are drawn to reliability and authenticity. By staying true to your principles and showing up consistently, you create a stable foundation that naturally invites trust and respect. Your inner dialogue shapes how you interact with the world. Positive self-talk fosters confidence and resilience, while self-doubt creates barriers. By nurturing a kind and empowering inner voice, you project an energy that attracts rather than repels. Attraction also involves recognizing when to release. Holding on to relationships, opportunities, or goals that no longer serve you blocks the flow of what is meant to come. Releasing with gratitude creates space for new possibilities that align more closely with your current path. The process of attracting what belongs to you is deeply rooted in trust. Trust in yourself, in the timing of life, and in the natural order of things. This trust requires faith, but rewards you with a sense of peace and alignment that chasing can never achieve. By focusing on your inner growth and staying true to your values, you create a life that naturally draws the right people and opportunities into your orbit. This journey is not about waiting passively, but about living actively and intentionally. It's about becoming the person who embodies the qualities and values you seek, allowing life to respond in kind. Through this process, you discover that what truly belongs to you will find its way without force, as you live authentically and purposefully. As you embrace the power of alignment and authenticity, another formidable challenge often lingers: anger. It burns quickly, clouds judgment, and distances you from your truest self. Stoicism offers a timeless toolkit to master this volatile emotion, not by suppressing it, but by transforming it into understanding and clarity. Embedded within Stoic philosophy are phrases that guide the mind away from destructive impulses and toward a place of calm strength. These words are not just reminders, but keys to unlocking a life free from the grip of anger. Anger often arises from unmet expectations or perceived injustices. It feels powerful in the moment, but it rarely leads to constructive outcomes. The Stoics teach that anger, when left unchecked, is like holding on to a burning coal. It harms you more than anyone else. To address anger, you must first understand its source. By recognizing that anger stems from how you perceive events rather than the events themselves, you reclaim control over your emotions. One transformative Stoic phrase is from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This principle shifts the focus from external triggers to internal control. When something provokes anger, reflect on whether it lies within your power to change. If it does, act calmly. If it doesn't, let it go. This shift from reaction to response weakens anger's hold. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom highlights the space between stimulus and response, a space where choice resides. When anger flares, pause. Use this pause to evaluate your thoughts and actions. This practice not only reduces impulsive reactions, but also nurtures emotional resilience. Seneca offers another guiding principle. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Anger thrives on immediacy, urging you to act before clarity arrives. Delaying your response creates room for reflection, allowing the intensity of anger to subside. In this space, logic replaces emotion, leading to choices aligned with your values rather than momentary frustration. The Stoics also emphasize perspective. Marcus Aurelius writes, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" This phrase invites you to consider the long-term impact of angry words or actions. It reminds you that anger, though fleeting, can leave lasting scars. By reflecting on potential outcomes, you gain the clarity needed to choose patience over impulsivity. Gratitude is another powerful antidote to anger. When frustration arises, shifting your focus to what you appreciate about a person or situation diffuses tension. Gratitude doesn't erase the issue, but provides balance, reminding you that even challenging circumstances have elements of good. Another phrase from Marcus Aurelius encourages self-awareness. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This wisdom directs your energy away from external conflicts and toward internal growth. Instead of engaging in anger-fueled disputes, focus on embodying the principles you value. This shift transforms anger into a catalyst for self-improvement. Empathy plays a crucial role in dissolving anger. Seneca advises, "We are all weak. Let us pardon reciprocally each other's folly." Recognizing your own flaws makes it easier to extend grace to others. Empathy doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but understanding that everyone carries their own struggles. This perspective fosters compassion, which softens anger and strengthens connections. Detachment is another cornerstone of Stoic thought. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This principle underscores the power of perception. By reframing how you view a slight or offense, you reduce its emotional impact. Detachment is not indifference, but a conscious choice to protect your peace. Forgiveness liberates you from the weight of anger. Epictetus suggests, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. This phrase reminds you that forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. It releases the hold of resentment, allowing you to move forward unburdened by past grievances. Stoicism also encourages focusing on the impermanence of anger. Marcus Aurelius reflects, "The anger of another person cannot hurt you unless you allow it. This phrase reminds you that anger, both your own and others, is temporary. By viewing it as fleeting, you reduce its power to disrupt your inner calm. Mindfulness is a practical tool for applying Stoic principles to anger. Being present in the moment helps you recognize anger as it arises, creating an opportunity to address it before it escalates. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you gain insight into the patterns that fuel your emotions, allowing you to break the cycle of anger. Self-compassion is equally important in this journey. Seneca writes, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery of anger begins with understanding and forgiving yourself for moments of impatience or frustration. This self-compassion creates a foundation for growth, ensuring that your response to anger is rooted in kindness rather than criticism. Stoicism also teaches the value of focusing on solutions rather than problems. When anger arises, direct your energy toward constructive action. This approach channels frustration into productive efforts, transforming what could have been a source of conflict into an opportunity for growth and resolution. The Stoics remind us to prioritize what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius advises, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This phrase invites you to question whether what angers you deserves your attention. By focusing on what aligns with your values, you conserve your energy for what truly enriches your life. Through these principles, anger becomes not an enemy to be conquered, but a teacher to be understood. Each phrase offers a path to greater clarity, resilience, and peace, guiding you toward a life where anger no longer dictates your actions. Instead, you respond with the calm strength of a Stoic, free from the chains of destructive emotion. As anger transforms into clarity and you reclaim control over your emotions, a deeper realization unfolds. The mind, especially the subconscious, holds immense power over your actions, decisions, and outcomes. Often operating beneath your awareness, the subconscious mind shapes your habits, beliefs, and reactions. By reprogramming it with Stoic principles, you can align your inner world with the external success you seek. This journey is not about quick fixes, but about deliberate, consistent efforts to cultivate thoughts and patterns that empower and elevate. The first step in reprogramming the subconscious is awareness. The subconscious mind is not static. It's a dynamic space that absorbs your dominant thoughts and experiences. Recognizing the narratives you've unconsciously adopted is crucial. These might include self-doubt, fear of failure, or limiting beliefs about your abilities. By identifying these patterns, you begin the process of replacing them with constructive and empowering alternatives. Stoicism teaches the power of deliberate thought. Marcus Aurelius advises, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This truth applies deeply to the subconscious. When you consciously choose thoughts that reflect resilience, gratitude, and purpose, your subconscious absorbs and reflects these qualities in your actions and responses. This practice is not about forcing positivity, but about aligning your thinking with your goals and values. Consistency is key in shaping the subconscious. Habits of thought are formed through repetition, much like physical habits. Regularly affirming beliefs that reflect your desired outcomes reinforces them in your subconscious. For instance, instead of allowing thoughts of inadequacy to dominate, replace them with affirmations of capability and growth. Over time, these affirmations become the foundation of your mindset, guiding you towards success. Visualization is a powerful tool in reprogramming the subconscious. By vividly picturing your goals and the steps to achieve them, you create a mental blueprint that your subconscious begins to follow. Stoicism encourages focusing on what is within your control, and visualization helps clarify these actionable steps. This practice not only strengthens your resolve, but also builds a sense of familiarity and confidence in achieving your goals. The language you use, both internally and externally, profoundly impacts the subconscious. Words carry energy, and choosing language that uplifts rather than undermines is essential. Replace phrases like "I can't" with "I'll try," or "This is too hard" with "I'll find a way." This shift trains your subconscious to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, fostering a mindset of persistence and creativity. Self-reflection is another cornerstone of Stoic practice and a critical aspect of reprogramming the subconscious. Regularly evaluating your thoughts, actions, and responses helps uncover patterns that need adjustment. Reflection isn't about judgment, but about gaining insight into what serves your growth and what holds you back. This practice fosters mindfulness and ensures that your subconscious aligns with your conscious intentions. Emotional regulation plays a pivotal role in shaping the subconscious. When emotions like fear, anger, or doubt dominate, they reinforce limiting beliefs. Stoicism teaches detachment from these emotions, allowing you to observe them without being controlled by them. This detachment creates space for intentional responses, ensuring that your subconscious absorbs patterns of calm and clarity rather than reactivity. Gratitude reprograms the subconscious by shifting focus from scarcity to abundance. By regularly acknowledging what you're grateful for, you train your mind to see opportunities and strengths rather than limitations. This practice not only fosters a positive outlook, but also attracts success by aligning your subconscious with the energy of abundance and possibility. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of action. Epictetus reminds us, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This principle applies directly to reprogramming the subconscious. While thoughts and beliefs are powerful, they must be supported by consistent actions that reflect your intentions. Each step you take reinforces the belief that success is possible and within your reach. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is another way to shape your subconscious. The people, environments, and information you expose yourself to create the mental atmosphere that your subconscious absorbs. Choose influences that inspire, challenge, and support your growth. These positive reinforcements strengthen your resolve and help overwrite limiting patterns. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful practices for accessing and reshaping the subconscious. By quieting the mind, you create space to observe and influence your thoughts at a deeper level. Stoic mindfulness, in particular, focuses on presence and intentionality, helping you align your subconscious patterns with your goals. This practice not only calms the mind, but also enhances clarity and focus. Belief in your ability to adapt and grow is essential in this process. Stoicism teaches that challenges are opportunities for growth, and this mindset fosters resilience. By consistently affirming your ability to learn and overcome, you rewire your subconscious to approach difficulties with confidence rather than fear. Detachment from external validation is crucial when reprogramming the subconscious for success. When your sense of worth depends on others' opinions, you give away your power. Stoicism emphasizes finding strength within, and this internal grounding ensures that your subconscious isn't swayed by fleeting judgments or criticism. This independence fosters a stronger sense of self and aligns your thoughts with intrinsic motivation. Journaling is a practical way to engage with your subconscious. Writing down your thoughts, goals, and reflections helps clarify your intentions and uncover subconscious patterns. This practice not only deepens self-awareness, but also reinforces the messages you want your subconscious to absorb. Consistency in journaling creates a dialogue between your conscious and subconscious mind, enhancing alignment. Celebrating small wins reinforces positive patterns in the subconscious. Acknowledging progress, no matter how minor, sends a message of accomplishment and capability to your mind. This practice builds momentum and encourages your subconscious to seek further success, creating a cycle of growth and achievement. Letting go of past failures and regrets is essential in clearing the subconscious for success. Stoicism teaches that the past is beyond your control, and dwelling on it only hinders progress. By releasing the weight of past mistakes, you create space for new patterns and possibilities to take root in your subconscious. Focus on what you can control. This Stoic principle simplifies the process of reprogramming by directing your energy toward actionable steps rather than external factors. When you focus on your efforts rather than outcomes, your subconscious learns to prioritize persistence and resilience over fear or doubt. The journey of reprogramming the subconscious is one of patience and consistency. It requires a commitment to self-awareness, intentionality, and growth. Each step you take, no matter how small, contributes to the transformation of your inner world, aligning it with the success you seek. Through Stoic principles, you cultivate a mind that not only supports your goals, but also empowers you to navigate challenges with clarity, strength, and purpose. As you delve into the process of reprogramming your subconscious for success, one truth becomes clear. A calm mind is the foundation upon which all progress is built. Without inner peace, the most powerful strategies can falter, and even the strongest resolve can waver. Stoicism offers timeless practices to quiet the noise within, bringing clarity, balance, and resilience. A calm mind isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for navigating life's complexities with strength and purpose. The first step to calming the mind is understanding its nature. The mind is a restless space, often occupied with fears, regrets, and anticipations. Stoicism teaches that many of these thoughts are outside our control, and attempting to wrestle with them only amplifies their intensity. Accepting that thoughts are transient and that you can choose which ones to engage with is a powerful starting point for cultivating peace. Breathing is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to calm the mind. Deep, intentional breaths signal your nervous system to relax, creating a sense of grounding and clarity. Stoics valued presence, and focusing on your breath anchors you in the present moment, pulling you away from worries about the past or future. This practice can be done anytime, serving as an immediate tool to recenter yourself. Journaling, a reflective practice embraced by Marcus Aurelius, allows you to externalize your thoughts and gain perspective. Writing down worries, concerns, or even small daily reflections helps organize the mind and reduces the mental clutter that fuels stress. By examining your thoughts on paper, you distance yourself from their emotional intensity, making them more manageable. Another strategy is to simplify your focus. The mind often becomes overwhelmed by juggling too many priorities or concerns at once. Stoicism emphasizes concentrating on what's within your control. By narrowing your attention to actionable steps, you reduce feelings of helplessness and regain a sense of agency. This simplification not only calms the mind, but also enhances productivity. Mindfulness, or the practice of being fully present, is a cornerstone of a calm mind. In Stoic philosophy, mindfulness is tied to the idea of living intentionally and being aware of your actions and thoughts. Engaging fully with the task at hand, whether it's eating, working, or conversing, quiets the mental noise that comes from trying to do too much at once. Mindfulness fosters a sense of flow, where the mind is absorbed in the moment rather than scattered across concerns. Gratitude shifts the mind from stress to appreciation. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you reframe your perspective, reducing the weight of negative thoughts. Gratitude doesn't ignore challenges, but places them in a broader context of abundance and possibility. This practice, when done consistently, cultivates a mindset of peace and contentment. Another powerful Stoic tool is reframing. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, view them as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This perspective transforms frustration into purpose, allowing you to approach difficulties with calm determination rather than anxiety. Physical movement also plays a significant role in calming the mind. Exercise releases tension and creates a sense of balance between the body and mind. Whether it's a walk, yoga, or more vigorous activity, movement shifts your focus away from racing thoughts and into the rhythm of your body. This connection fosters a sense of grounding and clarity. Detaching from the constant influx of information is essential for mental calm. The Stoics valued silence and solitude as spaces for reflection and renewal. Limiting exposure to news, social media, or unnecessary distractions creates room for deeper thought and clarity. A regular practice of disconnecting helps you prioritize what truly matters. Empathy is another pathway to a calm mind. When you shift your focus from yourself to understanding others, you soften feelings of frustration or anger. Stoicism teaches that everyone is navigating their own struggles, and viewing others through this lens fosters compassion. This outward focus reduces the inner turbulence caused by judgment or resentment. Cultivating routines that support mental calm reinforces these practices. Consistent habits, such as morning reflection or evening gratitude, create structure and stability for the mind. Routines provide an anchor in the midst of life's unpredictability, offering moments of stillness and intentionality. Nature offers a profound way to calm the mind. Spending time outdoors, observing the rhythms of the natural world, reminds you of your place within a larger whole. This perspective reduces the urgency of daily concerns and fosters a sense of connection and peace. Letting go of perfectionism is another vital strategy. The mind becomes agitated when it clings to unrealistic expectations. Embracing imperfection as part of life reduces self-imposed pressure and creates space for growth and learning. This shift doesn't mean lowering standards, but rather aligning them with the realities of being human. Engaging in purposeful reflection at the end of each day fosters mental calm. Reflecting on what went well, what could improve, and what you're grateful for creates closure and prepares the mind for rest. This practice helps release unresolved thoughts and creates a sense of accomplishment and balance. Acceptance is the foundation of many Stoic practices for calming the mind. Recognizing what you can't control and releasing resistance to it is liberating. Acceptance doesn't mean complacency, but rather understanding that peace comes from aligning with reality rather than fighting against it. Through these strategies, you create a space within yourself that remains calm, even amid life's challenges. A calm mind is not free from thoughts, but chooses which ones to engage with, fostering clarity, strength, and purpose. By applying these Stoic principles, you cultivate a life of resilience and balance, where the mind becomes your ally rather than your adversary. As the foundation of a calm mind begins to reshape your day, the moments immediately following waking become an opportunity to set the tone for everything that follows. The Stoics believe deeply in the power of intentional beginnings, starting your day with clarity and purpose while avoiding habits that scatter your focus or drain your energy. Each morning offers a chance to align with what matters most, but certain actions can undermine this potential before it even takes root. When you wake, the mind is at its most impressionable. This initial state is where focus can be cultivated or disrupted, depending on your choices. The Stoics emphasized being present and intentional, recognizing that the habits formed in those early moments shape the rhythm of the entire day. Without clarity, distractions and negative patterns can creep in, pulling you away from a sense of purpose. The first misstep many take upon waking is reaching immediately for their devices. Flooding your mind with notifications, emails, or social media shifts your focus outward before you've had a chance to orient yourself inwardly. This habit not only disrupts the quiet of the morning, but also allows external influences to dictate your mood and priorities. The Stoics teach the importance of starting with self-reflection and inner balance rather than external noise. Another common pitfall is lingering in bed, consumed by thoughts of the day's challenges. While reflection is valuable, the type of overthinking that occurs in this vulnerable state often leans toward worry or doubt. By rising and grounding yourself in action, you step out of the mind's grasp and into the clarity of the present. Skipping moments of gratitude or purpose setting is another missed opportunity. The Stoics believed in beginning the day with an awareness of life's impermanence and the privilege of being alive. This reflection instills perspective, helping you prioritize what truly matters. Neglecting this practice often leads to a day dictated by urgency rather than intention. Hurrying through the morning without structure can create a ripple effect of stress. When you allow chaos to dominate your first moments, the mind follows suit. The Stoics valued order and deliberate action, knowing that the way you start determines how you handle challenges later. Establishing a morning rhythm, even with small rituals, creates stability and focus. Neglecting physical movement upon waking is another choice that diminishes the potential of your morning. The Stoics understood the connection between the body and mind, emphasizing care for both. Movement awakens your physical and mental energy, preparing you to engage fully with the day ahead. Skipping this step often leaves the body sluggish and the mind clouded. Engaging in negative self-talk first thing in the morning can set a harmful tone for the day. The words you choose to address yourself influence your thoughts and actions. Stoicism teaches the power of cultivating a kind and disciplined inner dialogue. By framing your morning thoughts around strength and gratitude, you align yourself with resilience rather than doubt. Another habit that undermines your morning is starting the day with unhealthy indulgences, whether in food, distractions, or attitudes. The Stoics practiced moderation and discipline, understanding that the choices made in the early hours often ripple outward. Choosing nourishing actions instead creates a foundation of vitality and focus. Ignoring moments of stillness upon waking can also rob you of clarity. The Stoics valued quiet reflection as a means to prepare for the day's challenges. Taking even a few moments to breathe deeply, reflect, or meditate cultivates a sense of peace that grounds you as the day unfolds. Without this practice, the morning often feels rushed and fragmented, allowing unresolved emotions from the previous day to linger into the morning clouds your focus and energy. The Stoics believed in addressing and releasing past struggles, ensuring that each day begins anew. Carrying yesterday's frustrations forward prevents you from engaging fully with the opportunities of today. Relying on external validation or distractions as soon as you wake can also misalign your morning. Whether it's checking for approval on social media or seeking reassurance from others, this habit places your sense of worth outside yourself. The Stoics teach that true strength comes from within, and centering your morning on external influences weakens this inner foundation. Neglecting to prepare the mind for challenges is another misstep. The Stoics often visualized potential difficulties not as a means of dwelling on negativity, but to build resilience. Skipping this practice can leave you unprepared for the inevitable obstacles of the day. By mentally rehearsing calm and constructive responses, you strengthen your ability to navigate difficulties. Focusing on what you lack or wish were different as you start the day undermines your capacity for growth. Gratitude, in contrast, creates a mindset of abundance. The Stoics remind us that even the simplest blessings hold profound value. Beginning your day with this awareness fuels contentment and peace. Procrastinating on meaningful tasks first thing in the morning can lead to a cascade of delay and stress. The Stoics emphasize tackling important matters early when the mind is sharp and distractions are minimal. Avoiding this leads to a sense of being behind, which can dominate the rest of the day. Skipping the opportunity to set clear intentions for the day leaves you at the mercy of external events. The Stoics valued aligning actions with principles, ensuring that each moment was purposeful. By starting the day without this alignment, you risk being swayed by distractions or impulses that don't serve your goals. When you approach your mornings with Stoic intention, you cultivate a sense of control, clarity, and purpose that carries into every hour. By avoiding these missteps and grounding yourself in practices of presence, gratitude, and reflection, you transform your mornings into a powerful foundation for success and peace. Each day becomes an opportunity to align with what matters most, starting with the very first moments after waking. As the year unfolds, stepping into a lighter, more intentional life means quietly letting go of what no longer serves you. Whether it's toxic relationships, unrealistic goals, emotional reactivity, or the need for constant validation, the power of releasing creates space for growth, clarity, and peace. Each choice you make to simplify, detach, or set boundaries aligns you closer to a Stoic way of living, a life grounded in resilience, authenticity, and purpose. These practices aren't just about subtraction, but about addition, adding self-respect, focus, and fulfillment to your journey. Letting go isn't an act of weakness. It's a profound strength that clears the way for a life that reflects your values and aspirations. As you move forward, let these lessons guide your actions, thoughts, and relationships, creating a 2025 that feels more aligned, balanced, and true to who you are. Now, it's your turn. What's one thing you're ready to silently let go of before 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this content meaningful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Together, we can continue exploring Stoicism and uncovering timeless wisdom to transform our lives. Let's build a community dedicated to growth, purpose, and peace. Thank you for being here. Let's keep learning and growing.